didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's a strong opiate.
Opiate, that's what I was looking
for. It's a very strong opiate.
Well, it's not as strong as like oxycodone.
Well, now, come on. It depends on what the That's silly, Doc. Doesn't it depend on the strain?
Well, milligram to milligram, I mean...
Okay, milligram to milligram. Oxy stronger?
Yeah.
Oh, way strong.
It's oxycodone.
But what is it?
It's an opioid.
But why? It just...
We're up.
It's just stronger, in different forms.
Why were you... Oh, Mark's not there. His camera's working. Vicodin gives me a stomachache.
No. Here's my problem. When I take it, I feel so good that it scares me.
Oh, Vicodin?
Yeah.
See, it doesn't do anything.
Me. I hate them.
No, I can't take it. I mean it. I know enough not to take it because I remember one time I was looking for excuses. You know, like after I got out of pain, I think, I think I can hurt a little, and that's bad shit, right, Doc?
That's how I was with cocaine way back in my teens. I tried it, my early 20s. I loved it so fucking much, I knew there was no way I could do it again.
Hey, by the way, we're up.
Yeah, that's right, because cocaine, you'll end up dead. Somebody told me that they tried cocaine and they loved it so much and they thought...
God, it was the best fucking buzz.
And they said, oh my God, I better stop this.
And I already feel that way, so imagine that shit.
The off-on ramps and Highway 52. The weather forecast will be areas of smoke and sun throughout the day today with a high
It's a way
of 6. Right now,
people are so different on different things. It did nothing for me. Neither. Coke or Vicodin.
With thousands of locally owned
God, I fucking loved it.
No, coca was a weak spot for me. Anything opiate related is weak for me.
Dan, you gotta see this fucking dog, man. This walk this morning.
Oh, what does he, hold on.
Bring him in.
What does he look like? I haven't seen him in a while. Is he big?
Nico.
What do you call him, Neo?
Milo.
Nico!
He obeys.
I want to see that little baby. Fancy outfit, Warm. Oh my God! Look at him!
They're getting bigger.
Holy shit! No, Mark, he is giant. How old is he?
He's not quite 9 months.
Oh my God! When he stands on his back legs, does he come up to your shoulders? Look at how big he is. Look, come on. He doesn't even stand up. Nico. I know, Nico. Golly, is he big?
Man, his tail's getting long.
Aren't you shocked at how big he is?
But if you feel him, he's kind of still kind of skinny.
I didn't know Shepard's got that. Is he gonna get bigger?
Well, get ready to go. Hey, mute.
All right. I'm ready. We were just looking at Mark's puppy.
Actually, I heard you guys talking about doing cocaine.
Yeah, earlier. Hey, I don't do it.
No, sure.
Now. It was a weakness.
I'm with you.
Now, John Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Martino, we got Mark Major, we got producer Dap, Deputy Dan, Deputy Doc, Deputy B, other deputies who are just have signed out. I don't know what happened to them. Anyway, we are here virtually and in reality. We are here for you. You can tune us in on YouTube, Facebook. Look for the referral list. So look for Martino. Look for Troubleshooter. You can also tune us in on the iHeartRadio app around the country. Also in KHOW, our flagship AM station, 630 on the M dial in Denver. And then we have other affiliates and our sister station. I call it sister. It's just because they're in Colorado right here. South is KRDO, Colorado Springs. Hey, if you want to be part of the show, give us a call. Do anything. It's really fun to have people helping us out. You know, Deputy B has a lot of skills, man. He's been emailing me information, and I thought, hey, sign on, let's do it. We have a network of consumer advocates that get together and help people, and we have some follow-ups we'll talk about. You know, really it's the only kind of thing, it's the only thing of its kind. It really, really is the only, when I say thing of its kind. You don't find a show like this anywhere. The longest running radio show, truly. that's currently on the air with the same host, and it's been that way. So we are just thrilled to help you. All right, this hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. And Dan and I, did you take it, Dan? Right? See, he had his bottle out. RealCBDThatWorks.com. I swear to you, this is such a relief for working out and bike riding and all those little aches and pains as you get older, and inflammation and anxiety. So RealCBDThatWorks.com. Use Tom in the promo code and get 30% off. Hey, let's talk. Give us a call. Terry wants to talk about a condo complex, and we're going to talk about anything you want. You're the boss. You tell us what you want to talk about. We have Terry, who was on yesterday, the condo complex. This is weird. The neighbor, kind of a little off, ringing the doorbell at all, or knocking on the door all different times of the day and night. Obviously, Terry, that the person's mentally ill. This is a man, right? An elderly man, Terry?
Well, he's about, I would say, about 60.
Okay, well, that used to be elderly, right? So here's the deal. He's not there, right? I mean, he like pounds like, hey, boom, 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 open up, or what does he want ultimately? Like, does he want you to come to the door? What is his goal?
I think he's just harassing me. This has happened about a half a dozen times.
If you come to the door when he knocks, what does he do? So does he say hello?
Runs away.
Oh my God!
Every time I've looked through the peephole, nobody's there. But
he's got mental issues, guys.
Yeah,
let's not forget that.
Of course, that's the whole idea, Mark. It is a mental issue, but that doesn't give people a free pass, does it? What do we do, Terry?
I don't think so.
Are these units owned or rented?
They're owned. They're condominium. It's a condominium complex. They're owned. I own mine. There are some renters here, but I own my unit.
All right. So
I have reached out to the HOA rep for my building. It's a 4-story building, and this guy lives directly below me. I've reached out to my building rep, and she reached out to him to say, what's going on? We have some kind of misunderstanding of some sort. Anyway, she told me yesterday that he had sent her a rambling email that I've made his life a living hell. Now, I've just only been here a year.
Yeah.
And she said his email didn't make any sense. And that what worries me, he told her that, or said to her he was going to get a restraining order against me. And my problem is, if he gets a restraining order against me,
why don't you get? Except you have to have, your life has to be in danger. I mean, they do give them out like candy, but truly you have to say that you feel your life's in danger. So listen.
Temporaries they give out like candy.
Yeah, that's right. To be a temporary turns into a permanent only after a hearing, and those are a little more difficult. But Terry, we gotta figure this out. I mean, yeah, it's a nice call on the radio, but after we hang up, it's still going to be going on. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Does he live with anybody?
Yeah, I just don't want to be able to come home because I got a restraining order on me. I can't get into my house.
Well, that would be ridiculous. Does he? First of all, does anyone live with him?
No, I believe he lives by himself.
Is he with him?
I don't really know the man.
Have you tried talking to him, or is it useless? Is he like? Is he like out there? He lives alone. He must know how to wash and cook or take care of himself, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen just pleasantries in the elevator. I've said hello, goodbye a couple of times. I've only seen the guy twice, 2-3 times. And that was at the elevator.
What did the HOA person say?
Well, she said she just had gotten a rambling email from him, and that he was going to get a restraining order. Her suggestion was that he has done this before, she said, and he always seems to get one. She did say he's a little bit of an oddball. He's done some things in the community that just, other people don't do. He tried to set up a protest in the community office, and they told him, well, you need to go out on the sidewalk
and protest
if you want to protest.
Why don't you get a restraining order? Why don't you get one? Seriously. Okay. I'm serious, Terry, because if you do it first, and then you get a restraining order saying that this guy is bothering, harassing you, and Can you get some proof?
And damaged my front door.
Yeah. Can you get some proof or testimony from anyone?
Yeah, I got pictures of it, and I got to turn in a work order to the HOA because he damaged the outside of the door, and that's, they
Get
take
some
care of that,
video next time.
Well, how can he if he's inside when it's happening?
You turn it on and
he
you got
comes
video of some guy slamming the door.
Here's what I would do. Terry,
Well,
I would really get a restraining order. I wouldn't fool around with it. And then I would call police. And police like when you talk to them, like just, not rant and rave, but talk to them. For example, now, if you called and said, look, I don't know what to do. I need someone to talk to me about my neighbor. This could escalate. I'm really concerned. They might go talk to him. Now, what municipality are you in? What city or town or whatever? Where are you?
Denver.
Denver City?
By Lowry.
So you're in the
city and county of Denver, yeah.
Okay, well, if it's the county of Denver, and the city, does the police force go all over the whole city and county, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
if you see a cop in my neighborhood, it's a Denver cop.
call them. I would not wait. I would be first to act. Now, there's not much else you can do because they're all owned, and this is not like you can complain to a manager or get them evicted. We wouldn't mind. Right. We wouldn't mind interceding for you, but that gets weird with a neighbor thing like this. But we would make a call and talk to him. We would, if you have contact information and you want us to. We would do it. We have pros at it too. We have someone at Angel's Help, and she's kind of used to talking to people who might be mentally challenged or something, or alone, or maybe a little schizophrenic. Barb Shoe, right, Daff, at Angel's Help?
Angel's Help.
They kind of they reach out to people. Now, obviously, they're for families that need to make decisions regarding their elderly and loved ones, but she still might have the skill, or not might, she has the skill to reach out to the guy and maybe just find out what's going on. So why don't you try that? As far as first, calling the police and just having a talk and say, look, I just need to speak to someone. I don't want this to get serious. I don't want this guy to break in, and see what they suggest. But let us know, Terry. This is concerning to me, especially that other guy might be suffering and we don't know it. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Now, Henry bought, oh my God, listen to this. Henry's 90-year-old mother bought a walk-in tub. She pays $16,500. Perhaps the worst thing in the world you could do for an elderly person. I could go over why walk-in tubs are not the way to go, and you shouldn't do them. And if you are going to do one, call Renew Home Innovations. I'm serious. Now, the reason I say that is because he's not a lying, cheating ripoff, but he can show you alternatives. Because he does a shower that you can roll a wheelchair into. No threshold showers. And he does these wall systems that need no grout and no maintenance, American standard. And the reason I hawk, and that's funny, I hawk Nick Fox, he's a good guy, and he will be honest. But these walk-in tubs, we'll come after the break and talk about that. I think they're ripoffs. Now, if you go with RenewHomeInnovations.com, they just happen to have a 25% off this month, and they can redesign the entire tub or shower space to be just right for you. 303-904-2000, 303-904-2000. Now, while we're on the topic of home improvements, I also have another friend of mine I've known more than 30 years, Ted Rowland. And Ted, I want to ask him a few questions about home improvements in this market and what's going on. And then they're trying to stir things up, so they're doing some incredible specials as well. So all of that coming up. If you need help, information, or referrals, give us a call at 303-713-TALK. Mark Jozera first. Mark Jozera.
Mark, you got Joe Lazara, the first.
What?
You're going to get Joe Lazara, 60, first.
Okay.
Thank you.
combine my Medicare coverage into a single plan for little or no extra money. With the AARP Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare, I get more coverage than original Medicare. My prescription drugs are included. Plus,
Hey, Mark.
benefits like dental and 24/7.
Oh, he's getting ready, right?
Zero copay. Plus, it's the only plan in the AARP name. So if you are turning 65 or have questions about the mysteries of Medicare, make that one call to United Healthcare at 1-855.
Is today Thursday?
It is.
Yes.
That's 1-855-283.
This week goes crazy.
Or go to GetUHC
This guy sent me some pretty cool posters here, Tom.
Oh, he did?
See it?
How did he found that? Yeah, I had that.
He's
Was
got-
one I did.
It's got two of them. Here's the other one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool. They were really cool. Aren't they great? We used to
Yeah.
stage those.
What's that?
Come and look at
I
them.
used to have posters I would sell. Not sell, give away. I mean giant posters.
Oh, they were giant?
Yeah, I mean they were like this for the wall.
Were they old movie posters, Tom?
No, here
Look
they
at
are.
them.
They-
Look at them.
And,
Here.
and when I did public appearances, here's one, John. That's me in the center.
Oh, cool.
They would do really nice staging of those. Then there's the one with the hair blower. Boom.
That really happened?
We had some
Started a fire?
professional. We had some really good professional stagers. They did incredible.
Is that when he was trash man? What was his name again?
No, that
No,
was the
no, 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 I know. That was North Carolina.
Trash man.
Trash man.
Inflation fighter. Man, I gotta call Terry because I need to get into. I mean, I have a biotee due, and I don't want to go back to.
Okay, but you, do Art of Granite here quick.
He's just my style. I know him well.
What?
Hey, can you look at here, go look at Facebook. I want to put up something for you.
Look at your Facebook. What?
No, the Facebook for Tom Martino. I want to, this guy, John,
Hold on.
I'm ready.
Do you want me to look at your screen or go to Facebook?
either way.
You need countertops? The Art of Granite. TheArtOfGranite.com. You can get them in 2 weeks from the time you select material. And all the material will be wholesale because he's a direct stone importer. Many people are going with the quartz option. He does quartz. He does whatever you want, granite. And he does it for wholesale. Then he tears out and hauls away free and does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. Get your price on the phone. 303-386-5919. 386.
When it comes to your wanting, dang it. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I thought that was it.
You can also lower your monthly fee.
Well, it actually should have been. It was
You see
30
it?
seconds.
I do not see anything, sir.
Well, come on.
I'm looking at the
You know, if you
feed.
want to
What
get
am
a
I looking at?
visualization of 30
Oh,
seconds,
okay, I'll put it on there.
here's what you do.
Put it on where?
Visualize yourself
you're looking at the live feed there?
And then
Yeah.
multiply it
Okay.
by 2. That'll give you 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
What am I looking at? Comments? What?
No.
Give me a fucking clue.
The video.
It's like when I
I'm looking at the video.
Okay.
satisfied with that, and I say, well, me.
I'm going to look on your screen because, honest to God, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh man.
That's 303-695-7000. Or online at AmericanFinancing.com.
Okay, I am logged into your computer.
Okay.
Oh, that's old school, yeah.
I think they're cool, aren't they?
That was, that's really old school. Look at the color of his hair.
I think it looks cool. They did a good job.
That woman, though.
That really happened.
Where'd you get that? Someone took a picture of it?
No, someone sent it to me. John, he's got those 2 posters.
Oh, I see. That is pretty cool, man.
And Tom said they're big.
What do you mean big?
Like 3 by 4?
Full-size posters?
Yeah, 3 by 4 foot, something like that.
Wow. Pretty cool.
I think it looks cool.
Pretty cool.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
Okay, you can go back to sleep.
A hot day is well high 97. This is wildfire sitting our ozone levels.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can locally? I'm trying to get. I can't read that. Is there any way to have a contrast?
You do. So whether you stop by your local Napa Auto
There's a rest to
Store,
it.
a Napa Auto Care Center, or
Wow,
the
the
Napa
contrast.
Auto
Yeah, no, you can make it bigger.
Here you go, fella.
Yeah.
630 K-How.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Hello! 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This is the place to be for getting stuff done. All right, now, Ted Rowland's with us, K&H. We'll go to him, then we'll get back to Henry. Oh, no, let's do Henry now because we have Nick. I see what Daphne did. She got Nick on to talk about this. Although, as I said, Nick over at Renew Home Innovations, while they do walk-in tubs, they have better options, in my opinion. But, Henry, let's talk about this. Who did the walk-in tub for $16,500? Who did it?
Safe Step walk-in tubs.
Safe Step. Safe Step. And how did you find them?
I didn't find them at all. My mother found them.
And she's 90. Do you have any idea how she got a hold of them?
Oh, she gets magazines and stuff all the time. She's always.
But what did they do wrong? I missed it. I missed all of this. What is
let's
the
talk
problem?
about that.
It leaks?
We didn't get to the problem yet, Mark. So let's talk about that. What's going on?
It's a $17,000 tub. They want $190 a month for it. She signed up for it. She takes in about $1,200 a month from Social Security and Dad's retirement. And now she's in a nursing home.
Well, can we make the argument she was incompetent when she did this and they took advantage of her?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, how long ago did she do it? Let's take it one step at a time. How long ago did she buy it?
January 8th, and she had the
January 8th of this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't find out about.
Okay. How she's 90. When did she go into nursing home?
Just last week.
And she never used the tub?
No, she's probably been in it twice. We told her before it wasn't a good idea. My brother and I built her a shower that had maybe a 2-inch step, but no curb. Just step in.
What'd you do with the house?
Yeah,
what happened to the house?
What?
What happened to the house? Did you guys sell it?
No, we still got the house. We're probably going to have to sell it.
Here's what I would do, Henry. Here's what I would do, because I think they're lying, cheating, and I do think they took advantage of her. I'm making a rash judgment right here, but I think they probably did. Now, here's the deal. She owes how much?
Well, she's made payments from March to June.
Did she make any big down payments?
$500.
Okay, good. I would tell them to go shove it. She's not paying a dime. What are they going to do? What are they going to take from her? Now, tell me about her home. Does she have a lot of equity?
No, probably about $90,000.
Yeah, I doubt.
We had to buy it down.
What's that?
We had to buy it down when we got her into the place so she could make the payments.
What does that mean, buy it down? Oh, you had to make a down payment on it so she could have... So
we made a large down payment on it.
How long has she had that house?
Oh, 5 years.
Whose name is it in?
It's in hers.
Okay. I'm going to tell you some stuff you're not going to want to hear, but it would be the greatest solution of all time. Maybe if she's not living there, she might not be able to do it, but I would get a line of credit. I would get a line of credit with a reverse mortgage for as much as possible, and I wouldn't take a dime. I would just do a reverse loan. Now, there's a reason for that. You know what I'm going to say, Mark? There's a reason. They'll put a lien.
I do, but I I don't like the idea, but I know exactly. But continue, then I got an idea.
All right. They'll put a lien on the house for 125% of its value. Now, if you don't owe a dime, you don't owe a dime. But the lien is real, and no one can supersede it except the IRS. So that means that that house now is secure. Then what I would do is I would wait and just tell them to go shove it. After I got that loan, I'd tell them to go shove it, and I wouldn't pay them a dime, and there's nothing they can do. Even if they put a lien on the house, there's nothing they can get. And here's the deal. They probably will put a lien on the house. And I wouldn't even care about that even without a reverse loan, because I doubt they would go to foreclose on it, and I would just challenge them. That's what I would do. I would not let her pay that for anything. They took advantage of a 90-year-old woman. Mark, what's your idea?
How much equity's in the house?
90. I don't know. Did you say 90? Did he say 90? I thought he said that.
How much?
Yeah, about 90 grand.
It's probably about 90 grand. It'll sell for, she owes 90 something. It'll probably sell for 190, 200, something like
I'd bankrupt her. I'd bankrupt her.
Well, hold on. You're right.
And then I'd argue.
Wait, because she can.
Then I'd argue the value of the house.
She can keep the house if she has a certain homestead exemption on that house.
That's exactly right.
And Henry, listen.
And talk about a candidate. She makes $1,300 and has $900 a day. She makes $400 a month.
And Henry, here's the deal. Who gives a damn if her credit's ruined? Now, you know, I hope you're not one of these stubborn people who said, no, she won't do a bankruptcy.
Hey, and if she has credit card debt or car debt or any other debt, guess what, man? Gone.
We paid off $6,000 worth of her credit card debt, but we got to get her on Medicaid at some point because we can't afford.
Henry, do a bankruptcy, man, and Medicaid's going to be hard with that house. She should have done it.
Well, you know who he needs to talk to, because there's ways. I mean, I don't know if it's too late for this guy.
Mark, there's a look back, so it's not going to be efficient. Let's forget about the Medicaid trust right now. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about either doing a bankruptcy, or you simply get a reverse loan, or nothing. You just tell them to go to hell. And if they do come after her to try to foreclose on the house, then you do a bankruptcy. That's what I would do. But under no circumstances, Henry, would I pay those charlatans. I wouldn't pay them a frickin' dime. Okay, now, Doc, is it in line with what we're talking about? Go ahead.
I have a question. So they did put in the walk-in tub. Why not get some comps and then call them up and say, look, most people are charging $3,000 or $4,000. You did the work. We'll pay you $3,000 or $4,000.
No. Doc, most people charge $15,000 to $20,000 though.
They're absolutely in the ballpark with all the other cheaters. So that wouldn't matter. And besides, I wouldn't pay him a dime. Now I want to talk to Nick Fox with RenewHomeInnovations.com. Nick, okay, let's talk about the option for elderly people, what you have done, because can't you put grab bars and stuff and benches and everything? Can't you do all of that?
Yes, absolutely. But let me throw something out to you guys on this ladies'
go ahead.
And purpose. Yeah. So with the financing programs that are available for the aging in place, the minimum that all of them require is a minimum of $1,600 to $2,000 of monthly income to approve a loan. You could not get a loan if the salesman wrote down $1,200 on the paperwork. Whoever the financing company, and I imagine it's Green Sky or something like that.
You're right, Nick. You're right, Nick.
Absolutely.
You know what you're telling us? Yeah. You're telling us that this guy probably cheated and wrote in, you know what? You are probably right. And we can get him on that. You know, that is a great idea. A lot of people do that. They cheat and they fudge. Some used car dealers do that sometimes. Somebody will say, I make $600 a month or whatever, and they put down, $6,000 or $500 or $1,000 or $1,500. What a great idea. Now, with you, Nick, I need to know, how many elderly people have you done these showers for? Wide openings, benches, grab bars. You can basically make it any way they want.
Absolutely, and we've done thousands of customers with walk-in showers that provide safe bathing solutions, whether it's zero threshold, low threshold, seats, grab bars, whatever assembly that they need, we can design it for their personal needs and effects.
Yeah, just for them. Yeah, and then and then the handheld shower head, so they can, and you can do dual shower heads. There is no end to it. And to, as I said, I don't want to, I know you sell walk-in tubs if someone insisted on one, but I can't believe anyone would want one. You got to sit there while it fills up. You got to sit. You got to wait till it drains. You got to, the maintenance. I just don't like them at all. But anyway, just out of curiosity, does American Standard make a walk-in tub?
They make an incredible walk-in tub.
Now, they would, because they have great products. But I still would rather get a shower. But what's so incredible about their walk-ins if someone did want to have one? Tell me about it.
Well, the two major things that people usually have concerns about walk-in tubs is the temperature being able to be maintained and the ability to get out of the tub quickly. So the tubs have inline heaters that help maintain temperature.
Oh, good.
And then it also has the ability to drain it quickly. One of the other features that's incredibly important is the design of the layout of the tub. The tubs are designed for each different body shape and size, so that people don't, float in the tub or too tight and they can't maneuver properly. So those are some of the immediate features I like.
All right, thank you. Nick Fox, RenewHomeInnovations.com, and one of his specialties is that tub and shower space there, along with bathrooms. 303-904-2000, 904-2000. Now, what we found, Henry, I hope you were listening, we can probably get him on a number of fronts, but I'll bet you, Henry, first of all, when you guys stop making payments, I would just stop and do nothing, and then if they threaten or do a lien or try a foreclosure, then I'd do a bankruptcy for her. That's how I would do it. I'd start just not making payments. But I would say to that salesperson, Henry, I'll bet you defrauded my mom. And I'll bet you if we look at that application, you put in a bunch of false information. Because Nick's pointed out something very important. She would have...
Yeah, but they put a big down payment.
No. On the house, they put a big down payment, not on the tub.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the tub was only $500. So I think that these guys, man, they cheated this woman. Anyway, I think we take it from there. Let us know how it goes, Henry. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
Very nice.
We got it, Nick. I got Flex.
This is Denver's Talk Station.
Nice. Okay, Flex in a minute.
Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
There's a couple of trouble spots off highway, but the Mile High City freeway system is wide open across town. No stalls, accidents, or major delays on the highways. Off highway, there's a wreck being cleared at Federal and Iliff. Police remain on the scene. Best to avoid the area. Also, watch out for a car fire at 16th and Tremont. Seeing a bit of delay, so just avoid that location altogether if you can. The rest of the drive across town, though, in fairly decent shape. The weather forecast could be areas of smoke.
Hey, look at your email, guys. Well, look at this fucking shit. Look at this email I sent you.
Hold on, what is he saying?
Sent us an email here. The doppelganger.
Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
Isn't that fucking creepy?
Yes.
All right. I like your sound effect there. That's a good one.
Oh, Mark.
Flexidentofcolorado.com. That'll get you the website, but it won't tell you all of this wonderful stuff. Right now, getting your hail dings and damage done right now is easier than ever. You used to have to wait for an adjuster and insurance and approval. Now you just call your insurance company, they give you a claim number, and then they trust Flexident to do the rest. So you don't have to wait. So get a claim number, tell them you had some hail damage or you want to get a ding fixed. Then Flexident takes it from there. And they have free pickup and delivery or free rentals. 303-619-6273. 619-6273. Flexidentofcolorado.com. I'm sorry, I thought it was long. It's not.
My website now, for your free
Oh, you got to see this,
Okay, I'm
Tom.
gonna see this email. Don't
Oh,
tell me.
jeez.
Darker beard and longer.
Oh my God! It looks just like him.
Did you ever? You think
Mark,
was your
who
dad?
is this guy? Well, no. When you get up closer, you can see this guy's better looking. But where? No. I'm not. I'm just kidding around, by the way. This guy does look at him at a glance, doesn't it?
Did your dad ever do a sperm donor thing?
I cannot beat this through your head enough. They're great guys. Master Rooter Plumbing. 24/7
Should I get my brother
service.
on?
Full service excavation company if you ever need a sewer line. They do commercial work. They give free estimates. No trip charge in the Denver metro area. I could go on and on. If you own a house or you're a general contractor, you're going to need a good, reliable plumber with good prices. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406.
Some people have jobs, other people have careers. Frank Durant, the real estate man, has, well, this is not a job or a career to me. This is my passion. Simply put, you'll never find better for buying or selling your real estate with Remax Alliance.
Hey,
Tell me that is not fucking crazy.
do you think your dad ever
That's weird, Mark.
did the sperm donor thing?
Yeah.
Mark, when did you?
To my dad and say, who the fuck's my cousin?
Cousin, brother,
Mark.
twin.
Mark, who sent
If
that?
I grew my beard out like that, it would be uncanny and change my glasses.
Mark, who sent that to you?
A buddy of mine, Dan, a different Dan.
It's really incredible.
It stuck out so big to him, he's literally watching TV and thought it was fucking me and took the picture.
It really is weird.
And look, he even dresses like me.
Dresses like him. What do you mean?
He's being facetious.
I wear a three-piece suit.
He doesn't have a vest, so that's a two-piece suit.
Oh, isn't the tie the third piece?
No, the vest. When they say three-piece suit, they mean vest, jacket, and pants.
How about a cummerbund? I always wear a cummerbund.
You need to get different glasses.
I know. Look at those glasses, man. They look like they're from Malaysia.
I'm sure they are. The rimless Malaysian ones.
It's fucking nuts, man. I mean, I'm better looking than them, but still.
Oh, yeah. We'll vote on it.
God, it's crazy.
You should get a mask made like that and wear it and see who.
I've never even heard that word before. Have you guys heard that?
Telehealth?
What?
Telehealth? Or what word?
The gangle, whatever.
Gangle.
Oh, fine. Doppelganger.
Oh.
Oh yeah, doppelganger is someone who looks exactly like you. It's your non-related twin.
I've just never heard of it. Doppelganger. What a great word. I'm going to start using it.
I always used to think they were saying double ganger. I did.
You can't throw it into any conversation because you have to have somebody that looks like the other
Trust me, I
person.
can work that into any conversation, Doc.
All right. Do I have a doppel?
I'll bet you do. Everybody has one.
My looks are not that unique, really.
Hey, you know what? I was watching one of those crime shows, a real world crime show, and they said the hardest people to catch are ones that look like average Joe. They have no distinguishing features, and I really thought about that. If they're 5'10" to 6 foot, black hair, white guy is like the hardest person to find.
You know another thing? You might think this sounds crazy, but you have to know someone to really recognize how they look. In other words, if you don't know people, it's almost like I couldn't even tell you if they were like identical twins if I don't know them. I don't mean like side by side, but if you see one and then like hours later see another.
I agree.
All right, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, and I want to say happy birthday to his son, 17 years old, man. Yeah, and I remember it, and it's his only child. Anyway, Frank Duran, thereealestateman.com, so he won't be calling in today to give us an update on the market. as he does normally on Thursdays. But he did tell me that homes are still brisk. Inventory has not slowed down. Now, it's not plentiful, but it's there, meaning it's the same. He says he virtually sees no change from before COVID, and I don't understand that. I just don't understand it. And the average house right now, what are you kidding me, $600-something thousand? Oh, Frank Duran, therealestateman.com for help and information and listings and a free market analysis. 303-920-1622. Okay, Ted Rowland, K&H Home Solutions. I wanted to ask him a few questions. First, I wanted to ask Ted, the original scams used to be, they called them tin men. Remember, they would sell aluminum siding, and they would sell to the elderly and stuff. And then, of course, now walk-in tubs. There's so many scams going on. But seriously now, are there any scams in the exterior business? Like, you don't have sleazy siding people anymore, do you? In the industry in general, do you?
Well, Tom, you're always going to have people out there that are going to take advantage whenever and wherever they can.
Right,
I think it's a lot less than it used to be.
Yeah.
So,
and now, one thing I found, Ted, if I had to pick any area of falsehoods, it would be in the window sales. I think I've heard probably more falsehoods about windows than any other thing. I don't think people know what they're buying when they buy a window. So anyway, go ahead.
A big part of the reason for that is because there's not that much of a sightline differentiation. Most people think a white window is a white window is a white window.
Right.
And unless they look into it a little bit closer, like, is it insulated? What kind of glass is in there? Those kinds of things. And a big part of it is who's installing them.
So you have main parts of windows. You have the IGU, the insulated glass unit, that alone. Then you have, of course, the frame, and the construction. Then you have the hardware. And then you have the installation. That's a lot, okay? Now, I want to know something. As far as the windows you buy, you guys specify, and I know this because you've had the same wonderful windows for years, yet you don't necessarily keep the same manufacturer. Sometimes you have to change. I mean, things happen. So the latest and the greatest right now, what are the windows that you're featuring now that you love? Well, tell me some of the features that you love about them, if people are looking.
Well, the windows that we feature right now are manufactured by a company called Softlight. We've been with them for quite a few years now. They've been the Energy Star Partner of the Year for the last, I think, 6 or 7 years in a row.
What stands out about them?
Well, one of the things the fin seal and the insulation they put within their window to keep air out is far greater than virtually any other company out there. The glass that they use in their windows is highly insulating. They also have a triple pane product, which we have access to. And the hardware, I can't remember the name of the organization that tests for break-ins, but they are the only company out there that is certified by them.
Okay, I want to know something, Ted. When we talk about triple pane and double pane, it used to be all double pane. I don't believe, this is my opinion, and I don't know if you agree or not, and I just want to know, I don't think we're severe enough in Colorado to need triple pane. And is there a big difference between double and triple?
The difference isn't that substantial. You're going to get U values, which are indications of insulating value. They're pretty close between double pane and triple pane. They will be better with triple pane, but the amount that they're better, arguably, is not going to be that substantial.
Okay.
So, double pane is adequate for most situations.
And then when people say double strength glass, what are they talking about?
Double strength glass versus single strength glass, you're talking about the thickness of the glass. So single strength glass is 1/16 of an inch. They use a metric system, but basically it's like 1/16 of an inch thick.
Okay.
Whereas double pane is 1/8 of an inch thick. In Colorado, because of the expansion and contraction of the gases in the window, because of the fact that a lot of windows are not manufactured in Colorado, and when they come up here, there's going to be some pressure inside the glass unit.
Right.
If you don't have double-strength glass, you're making a big mistake. And there are companies out there that do sell single-strength glass.
So double pane, double strength, which means 1/8 of an inch, which is twice the 16th, right? And then you have, okay, then you have what else? You have the hardware you want to look at, and the installation is key. Okay, so here's what I want to know. The installation, where's the main problem? And there are a lot of people right now either getting windows or are in the process. What do they need to look for when people are installing a window?
Well, you want to be sure of a couple things. One is that the windows are shimmed, certainly at the bottom of the sill of the window, because over time, the vinyl window will tend to sag, especially if you have a wide area.
Very
at
important.
the sill.
Even if they have wings, or even if they screw them in, if they don't have support on the bottom, these big windows can sag over time.
Right. And what will happen is they won't seal. If it's a hung window, when you close it, you see like what looks like a little smiley face on the master frame, and so the insulation is touching on the ends, but it's not touching in the center.
All right. Here's what I'm going to say. Basically, it's impossible for everyone to know everything about glass, but if you just keep this in mind, insulated glass unit is one thing. Then look at the frames. Then look at the hardware, and then look at the installation. Now, I want to get some specials from K&H in a minute. I got to take a break. And then Robert bought a car from some auto brokers in April with a warranty, okay? And he said that there's a problem there. And then we have an update on Olinger. All of that coming up.
Nice.
I want Mark to do buy and build. He hasn't done one of those in a while. No, I want to go first with Mile High State.
Okay, Mark, you got buy and build. It's going to be second at 30.
Impact traffic. This report is sponsored by Napa Auto Parts.
It's a wide open highway drive across the metro area, so if you got somewhere to go, now's a good time to try to get across town on the freeway system. No stalls, accidents, or major delays. Off highway, crash being cleared at Federal and ILF. Watch out for police on the scene. Outside of town, watch out for road work affecting both directions of I-76 and Highway 52. Eastbound traffic is...
And we want you, not your brother.
Highway 52, so watch out for those backups. Up in the high country, I-76...
I might put that picture up.
We should and see it. Well, people, though, haven't seen Mark in a while, so that's going to be
I'll tell you what I did. I sent it to my dad a minute ago, and I just put it in there. Check it out. Me on TV in a suit. I want to see if my own dad will know.
That's good.
I don't think...
Ants does it.
Thank you, too. Stop on your Auto Care Center or online. You can count on Napa Know-How.
Attorney Blake Harris and I are working on a project, and it's bringing out the 10 mistakes in estate planning. Do you know what one of them is? Is putting it off. It's so easy to put off. And here's the problem with that. If you put it off, you could end up not getting what you want for you and your loved one and your estate. The other one is people plan for after they're dead. They don't plan for when they're alive, for long-term care, for special care, for medical needs, for directives. All of this is part of a good estate plan. I love Blake Harris because he does everything in a free initial consultation to tell you what you need. He talks to you, he looks at everything, and then he'll let you know approximately what it will cost for all of this stuff. 720-924-6171. Whether you need a simple plan or a bigger one to protect your legacy, you need MileHighEstatePlanning.com. 720-924-6171.
The Hidden Zeitgeist is a podcast from the world's smartest and funniest comics and writers. It gets you caught up on the news without grinding you down.
There's so many like simultaneous threads of history that I feel like are coming together at once that I'm like, which one am I going to... Yeah, let's flip through all the history at once.
It sounds like a TikTok challenge.
Did you see this picture that looks like Mark?
Yeah, I did.
My God.
They tell you everything you need to know about American culture without pressure.
I'm going to send it to us.
The Daily Zeitgeist on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
You know, it's incredible. Buy and Build delivers the highest quality products from around the world direct to the consumer for below wholesale prices. These guys have it all: kitchen and bathroom cabinets, porcelain tiles, sinks, faucets, floorings. Buy and Build, great products and unbelievable prices. And guess what? It's all available right here in Denver for pickup today.
You know, usually people don't really see right away that that person looks like other people.
Buy and Build.
I've had people say, that looks just like you, and it's hard for you to see the resemblance. Mark's seen it right away. What'd your dad say? Welcome
I haven't heard back yet. What do you think? You think he'll know the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know. Is your dad pretty sharp with it?
Well, he hasn't seen me sit for a year. And the fact that I kind of set him up, I told him, hey, it's me on TV in a suit. I mean, I would assume he'll buy it.
Yeah.
Now, my mom, I don't think my mom would.
Hey, move your camera a bit, Mark.
Which way? Oh, I moved it before.
Yeah. There, that's good.
So there's people that
That's good.
about the wedding being canceled.
Yep.
It specifically says in a contract that if it's done at any time before 180 days, they refund 25%. If it's done between 91 days and 180 days, it's 50%.
And she wants to cancel now.
She did cancel.
Yeah, but remember, they're the ones that changed it a lot and didn't give her details, right? That's not fair either. You could argue they forced her to. You know what I mean? Because they didn't communicate with her. And so she would have canceled sooner. But they kept stringing her along. So does your hairdresser also do color?
I haven't colored.
You fucking liar. You don't color your
I'll bet
hair.
you $1,000.
You don't have gray hair.
I will bet you $1,000 right now. I've never touched a color in my hair.
Look at him. Look at his
I knew that. He told me that before.
He's a liar.
$1,000.
I want to get an opinion from the people online. We're gonna have fun.
When
I will
break
have my
comes, I gotta
hairdresser
walk
sign
around with the
affidavit.
painter.
Huh?
I
So I've been going to her.
painter right
You
now.
liar! Okay. Liar. This is Deputy Doc. Let's put it up online. Deputy Doc at work. Deputy Doc. Oh, let me do it. I'm going to send that to you, okay?
Okay.
He's in his 80s. I'm just kidding. What are you, like 70 something?
I'll be 70. Yeah, I'm 75 and a half.
See, he's really in good shape. Okay, 75. He just needs a little weight and he's perfect. Okay. Dan, I'll send this to you.
Okay.
Dan.
He takes copper. You know, if you take copper, that's supposed to change your haircut back to normal or your regular. Zinc makes you go gray. Copper makes you go the other way. Hey, that's kind of a poet.
Wait.
My dad thought it was me.
Did he?
Why did this go through yet? Why isn't this going through? Fuck, look, I'm just trying. This is the craziest shit. It's not going through.
Okay, we're up. Mute.
Shut up. All right. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. So Deputy Doc is sitting here, and I'm going to put a picture of him up online. He has the nerve to tell me he doesn't color his hair. You know, he's 75 and not a speck of gray. Give me a frickin' break. Come on, Deputy Doc. He said he would bet me $1,000. $1,000 he's going to get an affidavit. No, I want a chemical test. I want the, and I don't want the people that do the COVID test because they'll tell me that, you know, you can't trust them, right? Okay.
Is he a redhead?
Well, his natural color is brown, reddish brown, a little tiny.
Well, red usually doesn't go gray.
And it's not red, by the way. It's not red at all. It's a tiny hint of like a reddish tint. That's why I know he got it out of a Claro bottle, but he says no. Anyway, Olinger, I want to go to this original problem. Julie, the original problem on Olinger, what was it?
My mom was buried there February 29th. We paid for everything up
Including
front.
the headstone.
Everything, yep.
Yeah.
And she still does not have a name plaque on her gravesite. It's just an empty gravesite.
Who handled this? Somebody called Olinger, and they said they were going to get on it.
They did.
And what?
And the lady's name was Teresa Warmberg.
Yeah.
She called me from Olinger's, apologized. She ordered my mom's name plaque the next day. They're expediting the shipping, and it will be on her gravesite August 28th.
Julie, thank you so much for the update. Now, Julie, your mom...
Thank you, you guys.
You know what? This is good news. This is really good news. Now, Julie, when did your mom pass away?
February 15th.
Okay. And it had nothing to do with COVID, right, or anything like that?
Well, that's up for debate now, they're saying. But
okay. Well,
yeah.
Listen, Julie, thank you for the update. We're happy to help pass it along that we help on this show, and we help people, and they can get help at 303 Martino. Also, K&H specials coming up after this. Make sure you can tell Ted we can call him back, or you can hang and just listen casually, whatever. Okay. Now, this is weird. This is weird. Deputy Doc, did you get the picture of him? When we put it up, I'm going to announce it first before you put it up. No, I would actually go back a little on that one because, and he...
We need a front.
I have some more front pictures of him. Do you need...
Yeah, give me a front picture.
I have a lot of pictures of Mark.
Are we going to have a chemical analysis for $1,000, Tom?
Hey. You hold it there, bro. You hold your horses. So you're just putting me on the spot. Now, where did I? Oh, he's on one. Okay, that's where I'm going to find his pictures. Wait till you see. I got some good ones, but I would go back just a little. It's a little close, but hold on. Stock library.
Seriously, most people when they say you look just like him, it's hard for a person who is that to say, I don't see it. Because people don't recognize what they really look like.
Okay, photos. We have career, in-house or TSN, what did I call our? What do I call? I got to figure out what I call our promo photos. Okay, and then I have Mark. Okay, here they are. You show me, look, I'm going to show you what I have.
This guy says that does not look like Mark at all. Are you guys drunk? We'll get a better one there,
Tell me which ones. Look.
You see them?
That one. Look at these. Come here, look. I have this one up here. Now watch. I'm going to go real fast. There's a lot, so.
Do a front.
I will. I got to find it.
Especially if he's doing his board.
That one!
Yeah.
That one, really?
Yeah, do that. Yeah, send me that one down. I didn't get anything from you as far as on...
Hey, Mark?
Is he there? No, he might not be there.
This one.
He's not there.
I'm going to not only take this one, but I'm going to...
I can crop it.
No, I'm going to do that because I have an idea. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Shit, I don't want to get rid of it. I have to... This stupid thing, I got to duplicate it to get rid of it. Okay, now I'll do it.
M8 says
it actually removes it from my backup drive. I thought they only copied to it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get over here, get over here, and I'm going to take his photo and work on it. Okay, here it is.
We have 150,000 fans. Only 23,000 will be allowed into the venue.
That's a nice picture, Marky.
Fans will have reserved seats. Financially, it's going to be a tough event.
you need to take one with him making his brow wrinkled like this guy's.
Yeah, but okay. So you don't want this one?
No, do it. It's but like say on this one here, he's kind of scrunching his face.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll find one.
Can you scrunch his face?
I'll do this one first, and then. You mean, can I doctor it up?
Give him some wrinkles in the forehead.
Okay, I'm going to crop this and then give it to you. Now, I'm going to email. I'm just going to drop it to you. You got my text, right? Yes.
Oh, did you text it to me? Okay.
Shit, where are you? Why is your text not working? I don't understand.
No, I got the text. I thought
did get a text
I
from me?
thought you emailed it to me.
Hold on, I want to make sure.
I'm
Is
gonna
your cell phone 470?
For your free quote, call 800-721-4880.
Yeah,
I
the
got
one I
that
sent
downstairs.
Deputy Doc. You got that one, so I'm going to send this one now. Now I'm going to try another one. But there. Then I'm going to try another one from Mark.
We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Request to vary depending on your opportunity company or fact. Not available in all states.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
K-How News Time, 11:03.
Governor Jared Polis expected to extend a statewide mask mandate before it expires this weekend. That 30-day order went into effect last month and was set to expire Saturday. It was put into place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Western Colorado still burning near Grand Junction. The Pine Gulch fire has blown up to nearly 60
One guy says, doesn't look like you asked if we're drunk.
Come here, what about this one? Dano. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No?
No. Either one. The other one, though, it's got, kind of dressed up.
This one?
Like, say, Mark really needs to, say, this guy's really...
Where is that? Let me see. Okay.
He's like looking into the sun.
All right. Now, okay, I'm going to try to get as close.
He's like looking in the sun.
How about this one? Is this too serious?
No? I mean, this guy's...
Let me see it.
Okay. So,
This report is sponsored by for over 35 years. Traveling around High City in great shape right now.
That might be good. Okay, I think I have one.
Back open. No problems on the highway drive through town. Let's go to the high country. Both directions of I-70 are through Glenwood Canyon, and the wildfires.
oh, the dogs are going nuts.
5 and 50 are the alternate routes.
There must be ducks out there or something.
Okay, 452.
Until further notice, lots of semis.
I am so impressed by fucking Mark Szymanski's painter. I can't fucking tell you guys how much.
Oh, go ahead, tell us.
You're fucking unbelievable. I just realized our entire punch list is only about 4 little items where they kind of forgot a little bit of trim. That's it.
Here,
I figured no matter who I used, I'd have about 50 punch items.
You sent it to me or did you text it to me?
Text. Text. Is that too serious?
I'll tell you who else is good who did the interior, Steve the painter. That fucking guy's good too, man.
Which one do you think I should do? I'll do the smiling one. Hey, you need to look in the sun, take a picture of you while you're looking into the sun, Mark.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
So I can squint.
Right, because he's squinting. And then you can see the raccoons a lot better. If you squint.
Those aren't raccoons, they're mailboxes. Remember that time I was spotting those dimes?
What do you call it where you keep a picture around your neck? A locket? What do you
Yeah.
Well, a locket is the jewelry in which you put the picture.
Yeah, the picture around your neck's referred to as a picture. There's that diction again. Hey, Doc.
Yo.
Would you,
Call him Deputy Liar.
Would you, help Tom with his diction, please?
I will attempt to.
You mean with my dick, shun?
I knew you. How did I know that was coming?
My dick, shun?
You'd think after 40 years on the radio, he wouldn't need diction help.
That's right.
The Troubleshooter.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome. We are here to solve problems, answer questions, take place, make your life a little easier. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. That's Panascience, or Panacea. And they're in Golden. If you put Tom in the promo code, you truly get 30% off. And then please give me feedback on how it's working for you. RealCBD thatworks.com. Now, Julie had given us an update, and it just goes to show what we do is we solve problems. She needed this headstone marking, and she's getting it. Now, that's a small thing, right? Well, to some it is. To others, it's more important. Then we have more serious problems. And we do get involved. Now, if we can't help, we don't get involved, but we tell you why. The whole show is about help. It's not about liberal and conservative or Trump versus Biden or this versus that. We do discuss that stuff once in a while, but it's not about that. By the way, the government is gearing up, I heard, for a massive advertising campaign for when a vaccine is found. I actually gotten information on this. Now, it's not secret. It's on the net somewhere. But some of the proposed ads and commercials they're going to be doing. And they fear that because of the political climate we're in, it's going to become a political thing. It's going to become a political thing. I don't know why.
You mean the vaccine itself?
Yes, like who gets it? God. Like who gets it and who doesn't.
Oh,
you know, like
I got you.
If you get it, you're giving in or something. This
it should go to people like 70 plus first. I don't think anybody could argue that. Then you go down.
But the people.
So you and Doc would get it first.
Yeah. Well, I'm not there yet, but I'm a stone throws away, right? Now here's the deal. How does everything become political? That's what I want to know. How does everything become political? We do have an update on a status check. Deputy B, you worked on this thing for Larry. Let's go to Deputy B. Here's what the guy said. He said he simply has a problem getting his check, and it shows, or he just went online, and he said it just doesn't show anything. What was the problem, Dep?
Well, Larry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
So Larry is an elderly gentleman. He's not good with the internet, and he received his stimulus check, but his wife, he didn't receive it yet. So he told me that he filed electronically. So I asked him, well, if you filed electronically and you're not computer savvy, that means you had an accountant do this. And he said, yes.
Oh.
I said, well, you're paying the... Okay.
He never told us that. So did he get the payment and not know it, or what?
No, he checked his bank statement. He received that's how he knew he got his payment, and it didn't show his wife's.
Right.
So he said, well, the simplest thing to do is to contact your CPA, which he did.
Okay.
Right?
What did the CPA
I mean, Tom,
tell?
you should have asked him that question.
How would I have known that a guy is using an accountant? By the way, did he give you a follow-up? Did that help? Did the accountant find it?
Yeah, that's how I know. Well, that's why I'm reporting. I'm reporting now because I just got a follow-up from Larry.
Yeah?
Every one of the tasks you give me, I ask each of them to give me a follow-up as soon as it happens.
Unlike the other deputies, I'll take a note here, deputies. Okay, so anyway, what happened?
Oh, I'm very complete.
Yes,
you can
sir.
tell I'm very complete with my work. Okay.
All right.
I probably bother you more than everybody else. So anyway, I just got a note from Larry.
Yeah.
And Larry is very old school, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Didn't even call. He didn't call the accountant. He went down to the office.
Oh my God.
Because that's what he did. Anyway, it took him 2 days to do it. And he sent me a note that it was successful, that the accountant is looking into it, and the accountant is basically doing his job.
Okay.
And the worst case scenarios is if maybe he doesn't deserve it, but he'll take a tax credit next year.
Okay.
But the bottom line is the accountant is working on it.
All right. And by the way, taking a tax credit, that's what a lot of people don't understand. If they are due a check and didn't get it, the taxes are automatically going to figure that in and credit them. And you mentioned that, and that's correct. That's what happens. So, and right about now, don't you think most checks have been delivered, Deputy B?
According to Larry, again, I'm just reporting. Yeah. He says his accountant said they're not all sent out, and they still might be sent out. He still might get it in September.
All right. Cool.
So
now listen, you sent me a lot of stuff on vaccines. I don't want to get into the medical part. I don't want to get into it. But are you going to take a vaccine if it's available?
The short answer is no.
Yeah, okay.
And the reason,
I know. Hold on now, Mark. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
This is what I don't want to get into.
Please.
No. Listen. I'm not. Anybody can think anything. That's why I said I don't.
He's been talking to Daff.
That's why I said I don't want to get into the medicine on it.
No, but I'll just answer. I measure risk versus reward.
Okay.
So I'll say if this was polio, the answer would be yes.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So now that's a good answer, by the way. Now, Mark, will you be taking a now? Obviously, we're all going to assume when I say, "Are you going to take the vaccine?" It after a relatively a safe trial, right? Okay.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah, and I will. Now, Deputy Doc here, what do you think?
I'm going to take the vaccine, but as far as distribution, Mark, you got to remember 40 to 50% of the people surveyed will not take the vaccine. So
I don't believe it.
Well, let me finish.
So that's what the survey
That's
said.
what everybody says. And you just had Deputy B say he won't take it, and other people won't, but that will certainly increase the number of people who want to get it, will be able to get it, because there'll be enough to go around.
I hope so.
Actually, that's a good point. And here's what I don't understand. And I got to take a look at myself, because Deputy B wrote this in an email.
Look, everybody says it till they know someone that died from it.
I know, Mark, but this is something Deputy B said in an email, and I can't refute it. Here's what he said. If you want it and you take it and you're protected, why do you care if I take it? And what is the answer to that? What is?
Well, herd immunity would be nice.
Daff, you were going to say something. And Mark, let Daff complete her thought, please. Go ahead, Daff.
I just think that when people take it, it's their choice, and I lost my train of thought. So
no, but in general, Daff, but in general, we joke a lot around the office. But you are anti-vaccine. You're not buying into that autism stuff. Go ahead.
Not anti-vaccine.
How about like HPV?
Wait.
Who wouldn't get their kids HPV shots?
Please let her finish a sentence. Go ahead, Daff.
My kids have gotten vaccinated. I'm not that. I'm making my choice as an adult not to have the shot. I don't think that they test enough, and that is my choice. And I just think that the flu shot doesn't work. I mean, people still get it. You get sick when you get the flu shot.
Well, the strains do vary a lot. And again, that's why I'm happy that it's a personal choice. There are some people, however, just so you know, who are trying to make it mandatory. Now, Mark, would you be in favor of mandatory? I don't know if I'd be in favor of mandatory. How about you? Is Mark on? Uh-oh. No, he can't be on because he would be talking right now. No, he would be.
I'm on. Yes. Should it be mandatory? Only if it was 100% safe and pretty much 100% successful, then yes.
Yeah.
But normally it's
I don't want the government. I don't want the government mandating, but I know someone, a relative, that did not give her kids the HPV shots, and I think almost everybody's got HPV. Thank God I don't, but a lot of people do, and it leads to cancer. Why you wouldn't give that shot to your kid blows me away.
No, it's true. That's true in my opinion. Now, Ted Rowland, K&H Home Solutions. I want to end this segment with these specials. Now, one thing for sure, and I can tell you this personally, we had windows done on one house so many years ago, I had forgotten who did them. And I wasn't sure if it was when I knew Ted or not. And Stephanie said, "Oh, Tom, K&H did these, and this is long before we were together. I had recommended K&H to her." And I said, "Are you kidding me?" And you know what? They came out and serviced those windows. And that's the important thing, is the company to back it up. So anyway, what specials do you have right now going on?
So, Tom, I do have some specials, but I do have a customer service story if you've got time to
go ahead.
Relay it. So we did siding for a customer about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was a siding job. It was vinyl siding, and the product failed a couple times out there. Now, they're located down in the Black Forest. Their house doesn't have any shade on it. The sun just beats down on it all day long. The manufacturer went out there and serviced the problems a couple times, and then after that they said, we're not going to support this color anymore. You need to pick a different color, or you don't have a warranty anymore.
Wow.
So,
and by the way, I want to make this. I want to make this clear. It was not Everlast Siding, right?
It was not Everlast
Good.
Siding.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting to.
All right, go ahead.
So, we sort of racked our brains. I mean, we tried to tell her you need to pick a different color. She absolutely refused to do it. It was a pretty good sized job. She's a good customer. We're trying to take care of her. And so we came up with the idea of Everlast and talked to the Everlast people. They said they would work with us on doing that. So in about 6 weeks, I imagine, depending on how fast we can get the product and who's available to install it, we will be replacing all of her siding with Everlast Siding at no cost to her.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
long after our warranty. Well, the manufacturer's warranty, they basically walked away from it, and our installation warranty has long since been over. So,
that this Everlast Siding, I really caution myself when I use the word best, but I can't see anything that would be better. This thing is totally waterproof, color through and through, wood texture, wide variety of colors. It's indestructible in my opinion. I don't see how it could wear out, Ted, at all. I don't see how it could happen. I mean, it's just...
Well, that's our...
Ted, if someone did want to paint it like 10 years later just to change the look of their house, could they paint it or no?
I would say probably not. It wouldn't be easy to do. You can paint almost anything if you know what you're doing with it, but I'd say probably would not be an easy thing to do.
And it wouldn't hold up like the original finish. And anyway, what is the special now?
Right. So the special that we have is we're giving at least a 25% discount on windows, siding, and doors. Now that's sort of sliding scale. The more windows or the larger the job is, the products will sort of dictate some of that. So
it's a minimum
of 25%.
A minimum of 25%, and it goes up from there.
Correct. That's windows, siding, doors, our entry doors, which are also fantastic products. But in addition to that, for the month of August, if they mention your name when they schedule the appointment, we'll give them an additional 15%. That's 15% off, in addition to whatever the other discount comes out to be.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the minimum is 25%, and you're going to add to that right off the bat 15% if they mention Martino. So that's 40%. And that's this month only.
Correct.
Holy crap.
That's until the end of the month.
And does that apply to Everlast Siding?
That applies to any windows, siding, and doors. So, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Applies to Everlast Siding as well.
Okay. That's K&H Home Solutions. Thank you, Ted. You can make your own appointment at khwindows.com. It doesn't have to be installed this month, but you have to make the buy this month, khwindows.com, and you'll get not only that minimum of 25% off, but you add to it, which is incredible. You add to the 25%, 15%, and you get a grand total here of savings right off the bat of a minimum of 40%. And that's real stuff, by the way. It's real stuff. And their number is 303-421-7100. We got a lot more to talk about. For example, we have Robert, who bought that car from Auto Brokers. We have Carl about a lease. We have a comment on vaccines. We'll take all of those. And advice on a judgment. All of that right after this.
Hey, you're not bugging me enough, Shannon.
Whoa, that's kind of nice.
I'll do Fuller. He can do Get Found Fast.
And today for your tomorrow, when you meet with Linda Gardner and your team.
Did you hear that, Mark? You're doing Get Found Fast. Second 30. Okay.
Tom? You got money.
For me, right? Okay. Yaman.
Charge of your 7-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604.
You know, John Fuller is a personal injury attorney, and there's a reason that I'm telling you to call him first after, of course, you take care of injuries. If you're injured, you need information. There's no doubt about it. And here's the problem. Most people get wrong information when it comes to personal injuries in a car accident. You can get free legal advice from John Fuller when you need it the most, right after an accident, and he won't charge you. And then if he takes the case, he only works on contingency, which means you're not charged unless he collects for you. PersonalInjuryCO.com, 303-597-4500, 4500.
I know it's really fun.
I need something a little softer than that. Rest easy. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, you can both adjust your comfort, but you sleep under set.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet. Okay, but can it help keep us asleep? It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you
God, Pat Boone, he keeps fucking going, doesn't he?
Life-changing sleep. And now, all beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition Smart Bed, plus special financing on all Smart Beds. And London. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
You know, website strategy, social media, pay-per-clicks campaign, Facebook advertising. My goodness, to most of us, digital marketing is just a blur. We have no idea. And a lot of us have been hoodwinked, including myself, dealing with companies that don't do anything for you. Well, Tom and I found one that has delivered results, and they'll give you a free face-to-face consultation and analysis of your website. Go to getfoundfast.com right now, getfoundfast.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Edelman with the warning. Millions of people are buying stocks they think are low in price. Watch out. A lot of investors have no idea the risks they're taking. But you are holding steady, right? You haven't made a trade all year.
I think I'm going to start playing polo.
With COVID on the scene, you might need more in cash than before. Maybe
You'd be the horse?
Oh, you're funny.
I am.
Polo looks fun. It looks like croquet.
your entire financial situation and see if you're in good shape as this crisis continues. It's not the time to go it alone.
I wonder how they train those horses.
Plan Rick. Talk with one of my colleagues.
Say, giddy up.
They're not as trained as Nico.
And make sure you're ready for what comes next. And we'll help you get through this crisis just like we've helped clients get through every crisis.
Looks like,
call us at 888 Plan Rick.
There's a lot of investigations going into Lebanon right now.
The groundbreaking advanced FPV advanced air restoration is finally arriving at their break. Final round here. So some of us might have received airlines getting here, or like me, all three. But we no longer have to travel to Seattle or LA to get the very best of air restoration. Advanced Air's team.
Jay's, Robert from Big Bear just sent this thing. Total tested in the U.S., 47 million.
What are you talking about?
For COVID?
We have that many?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but it minimizes the death rate drastically.
Right, total negative tests, 42 million. Negative rate, 90%. Total positive, 4 million. Positive rate, 9%. Total deaths, 139. I thought our total deaths were over 150. And the bad thing about the total death rates from COVID is it's
bullshit.
Right. Not Colorado. Colorado, for the most part, is better.
Isn't Colorado the one that had the alky?
Right. And they were sued, and roughly 18%, roughly, they were over until they put out, and I think they still put out both deaths. That if you died with COVID or you died of COVID.
So Tom, Dan,
Yep.
do you guys think the type of vaccine will have any impact on people's decisions?
What do you mean the type?
Well, if you use a killed virus or an inactive virus, you're actually giving a virus to the person, and there may be some skepticism. But if you use one of the recombinant, where you're just using a protein or a piece of the virus, do you think that will change people's minds?
Yes.
I do too. I think if you're going to use a recombinant vaccine, you can't get the disease because you're only giving them a protein or a piece of the gene.
No. People think you get the active virus and you don't.
Well,
Doc, I'll tell you the other thing, the delivery method. If you offer a nasal spray compared to a shot, more people will get it.
Well, yeah, but I also think if some people will be scared of either a live virus or an inactivated virus, where they might not be scared of a recombinant virus.
Yeah, what do you need, bro? I'm here. Okay,
I guess the average Joe doesn't really even think about that. I bet if he asked 10 people
I'm Tom
on the street,
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Okay, now, we need some
information for people. First, I want to take Josh, who has a comment on the vaccine. Go ahead, Josh. And what I meant by we need information from people, what I mean is behind the scenes we are working on problems and we'll have updates soon. I should have just told you that right off the bat. Okay, so Josh, what is your comment on vaccines?
So you asked the question, if I get vaccinated, why do I care if you do or don't? And I'm going to give you the three big important reasons.
I said that not, okay, I just want you to know something. I am not advocating either way yet because I don't know enough. But I said that Deputy Doc asked me that. He said, hey, Tom, if you get it and you feel safe, why do you care if I get it? Go ahead, Josh.
Because there's three big reasons. Okay. Some people don't respond to vaccines. Just because you get a vaccine doesn't mean you respond.
Okay.
Some people can't get a vaccine because they have a disease process that makes them immunosuppressed, so they can't get a vaccine. And third, other people who got vaccinated may now be going through things like chemo and other treatments that make them immunosuppressed and more susceptible.
Okay.
So my opinion on the vaccine is right now, I live in Fort Collins. Our schools are closed because they've determined COVID is so dangerous, our kids can't go back to school. So I'm fine if you don't want to get vaccinated, but you shouldn't be able to send your kids to school with my kids. Because what if my kid is one of the ones who didn't respond? And so I think everybody that chooses not to get their children vaccinated, they should have to do virtual learning until they overcome their stupidness.
Yeah. But, Josh,
isn't that the case? But wait, isn't that the case in a lot of vaccines with schools?
No, you can just sign. In Colorado, it's very easy to sign a waiver. Colorado is one of the easiest opt-out states when it comes to...
I got it. So they require it, but it's like nothing to get out of it.
By the way, the thing about, I mean, we've had some serious epidemics in the past. We've had some pandemic. I don't know if they're pandemics, but here's the bottom line: is that polio, for example, or tuberculosis. I mean, could you imagine if people kept refusing vaccines, these diseases can resurface. They can. And by the way, I personally don't feel badly about taking vaccines. I will take a vaccine. I took one for shingles because I'm older. I got one for pneumonia, and I take vaccines. And I don't think my body is being harmed. Now, I'm not just going to take one that comes out, and then all of a sudden they say we have a vaccine. I'll look into it a little bit. But, Josh, as far as the school being closed, when you said that, my heart just sunk because I think they're way overreacting. I don't know how you feel, but do you feel that?
It's political.
I mean, especially with kids.
So I feel...
Go ahead.
If you look at the part of the problems with schools is if you look at the requirements put on them by the health department, they're almost impossible for the schools to meet. I mean, you look at, an elementary school and they're telling kids that you have to wear a mask 24/7. They're telling teachers they can't have fans on in hot buildings. You have to have your kids social distance 6 feet apart. You look at some of those requirements, it is almost impossible for the schools to meet them. And so I think that's what the schools are in part forced to say, we're willing to reopen and we have teachers that are willing to teach, but we can't meet the requirements that the health department says we have to meet in order to open.
Yeah, but I think if they flip to a voucher system and they could spend that money anywhere, if they flip to a voucher system, other people would figure it out. Or the public schools would open really quick knowing they're about to be crushed.
Well, I just think the whole reaction to COVID was overdone. And I think, like Josh said, the restrictions, we need to have common sense restrictions. But some of these things are ridiculous. Now listen, I am probably 20 feet away from the closest person, and I'm on an exercise machine, okay? I'm on a machine. No one is even close to me. And my mask, okay, I wore it to the gym as they asked me to, but when I'm on this machine, so I could breathe better, I pulled it down, and I'm working out. The guy comes from across the gym, one of the workers, to say, could you please raise your mask? And I said, listen, man, I said, I am not one of these protesters. I'm not one of these, I'm not making a political statement. All I'm saying is this. I am here 20 feet away from the closest person, and all I want to do is breathe. And my head's down, and how about this? If I see someone even 10 feet away, I put the mask up. But can I use my common sense? And he says, well, you have to have it on. Now those are what I call rules for the sake of rules.
Yeah, but they could get shut down maybe, Tom, if someone snapped a picture of you.
That's exactly right, Mark. You're exactly right. But still, it is a rule for the sake of rules. Now, somebody might be thinking right now, well, Tom, if we left it up to people's judgment, it won't work. It's like we have to be told what to do or it won't work. And I guess to a point they're right. I mean, but man, it's just gotten out of hand. But if you take the whole damn thing, really, honest to God, this is not the most deadly thing we've ever had. In fact, it's not even close. I'm not saying don't worry, get sick, please. I'm not. But this is not as dangerous as they said. They were liars. It's not as dangerous as they said, except for people who are sick anyway. And this is what I'm trying to say. Those people would have died anyway with another flu. I'm not saying because of that they should die. I'm not saying that. But target the efforts toward those people, not the entire population. Can't we see that? I mean, do we really want to oust a president so bad that we have to make people miserable? Is that really the goal? I almost refuse to believe that. But that's what so many people, let's just say it. This is not a political show, but let's just say it. I have talked to so many people who believe this is all a big conspiracy to make people so upset and so miserable that they will blame President Trump and elect someone else. People, that's the 400-pound gorilla. That's what people are saying. Is it true? You know how many people believe that? They believe it. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I believe that. Now, I do believe that they're probably using the mistakes he made and amplifying them, and they are kind of saying, well, now we have a terrible this and a terrible that. Thank you, President. But I don't want to get political. Here's what I'm saying. From a health point of view, exactly what happened, I said what happened. The death rate is going to minuscule to almost nothing. But people keep saying it's the single biggest event, a death event, since so-and-so, since World War II, whatever they say. You know, I mean, there are newscasters that love saying it's the single biggest disaster of death we've ever had. Yes, as a single event, it might be right up there, but it's because of what we did. It's because we killed most of those people by shutting them in. Those senior citizens could have been saved. Those people that were going to die were on the edge anyway. But my God, Cuomo didn't save any lives. He didn't save any lives. He was responsible probably for more death than anyone with those nursing home patients. It's just incredible how people twist and turn statistics to their favor. You know, like a guy dies in a motorcycle accident and they tell us it was COVID. Are we getting sick and tired of this yet? I am so tired of Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show spewing fear every chance she gets. You can see the joy in her heart. She sits there and her little lip quivers, and then if it's not the flu, she's going to talk about the killer hornets. Why does the media have to instill fear and think that's going to keep us tuned in? They're lousy bastards, every one of them. I got more coming up.
Very nice.
This is Denver's.
I'm just tired of it.
Your biggest truth, Tom, there was saying they're lousy bastards. Because they are.
But really, did it fucking turn out to be?
Oh, they were so emphasized. That's why I say people discount Fauci. I discount Fauci. Discount WHO. I discount WHO, and I know Doc, you're for WHO, and I think
Fauci's not technically inaccurate.
There was one thing.
He's not really. I mean, he's not talking politically. Do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
absolutely.
you really think he has an agenda? Come on.
Yeah, just because he was such a lover of Hillary.
I got.
But remember,
well, I don't know.
Doc,
Mark,
you said you believe China death.
Do you know enough about Johnson Roofing?
One statistic.
Do you want to do it? Chase Johnson, good guy. Let Mark take
China's
a step.
death is all accurate as far as
I
what they.
said that one report. Not everything, just that one report.
So he's going to do the long Johnson Roofing.
Right.
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
There's no way that that's their statistic. That China's statistic is that.
Johnson Roofing.
These guys are unbelievable. Locally owned and operated since
Hey.
Yep.
Why the fuck does Anderson Cooper say it's the biggest peacetime death, the biggest single event? I mean, you know, you can say that, but it doesn't mean that it was caused by the flu. It was caused by the shut-ins. We killed more senior citizens.
That'll be the $64 million question, how they come up with that. I mean, there'll be millions of things written on this of how they should have done it or whatever.
If they, you know what? You have to admit in the very beginning what I said, I fucking said.
Oh yeah,
quarantine those at risk.
At risk, right.
Social distance the rest.
And they kind of knew what people were risk right away. Just from Seattle.
But do you notice how the media loved highlighting young people who died? They loved it.
And really, it's not even
every
a statistic.
Every one.
If you look at under 35, there's not even. It's like 0.00000.
Yeah, we're going to do it right this minute. Buy and build. Oh, sorry.
Did that start on time, Shannon? We good there? Okay.
Hey, Daphne, is Ideal just there for general shits and grins? All right.
Uh-oh.
Buy and build. That is the place that has built its reputation on helping homeowners with do-it-yourself projects. But you know what? Contractors found out about them because the prices are under wholesale. So whether you want your contractor to go, you go, or you let Buy and Build do it all because now they have installation as well. Visit them, 560 South Lipan, or go online, buyandbuild.net. Oh, everything you need for the bathroom and for the kitchen, cabinets, vanities, sinks, faucets, bath accessories. 303-295-6022, buyandbuild.net.
I used to think that Medicare was one big complex mystery. What's covered? What's not? Then I made one phone call to United.
I say the only way China's statistics are accurate if they actually implemented this thing, which I don't believe.
You mean
and they inoculated everybody secretly. That's the only way China's statistics could be.
More and more evidence pointing to it being created in a lab.
Oh, I don't. Oh, it might have escaped. I don't think they actually did it on purpose. You think so? I don't think so.
No, I don't think. I don't think it was created in a lab.
I think it might have.
Mark Major, give me a call back.
That and then the WHO saying it definitely came from the wet markets, and then they opened up the wet markets a month later. That's to me that's like saying I think the WHO is a thing that from the past. Oh, it's too political. It got too political. That's what I should say.
I like the WHO.
I like the group.
Exactly. Oh, I wonder why the health organization stole their name.
I know they're getting sued.
In business 27 years with the same owner, Jay Price. And what I like most is you don't pay a cent until you're content.
Welcome to Robin Hood.
What's Robin Hood?
It's a brokerage firm, no fees. In fact, because of them, we don't pay fees now.
You know, in roofing, there are so many companies that come and go. Companies that even buy out the names of old companies. Well, you have my word. Excel Roofing is the same company it was in the beginning and just gets better. They also do roof repairs. If you have old damage or new, call them for your free estimate.
I hear a guy says, "Oh my God, Tom, 1,000 people a day are dying." The thing about it, you can probably discount that. You can discount about 18% right there.
They're dying, but who's dying?
Right. It's like, hey, you say over 65 is 85%.
They will die from anything. Yes.
Exactly.
Try to stop.
In fact, like Suzanne's grandma.
And I'm not saying they should die prematurely. I'm not saying that. But quarantine them. Don't shut down the entire fucking school system.
I agree. I'm with you.
If this is you, it's probably time you get treated for your low T. At the Rocky Mountain
I'm there. Popsicle? No. Fudgesicle. Creamsicle. That's what Mark says. Creamsicle.
Remember creamsicles was orange ice with vanilla inside.
I love that. That's good. It's like an orange float.
At some point, we need to go off audio. I want to tell you something.
Okay. Just tell me when.
The day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call us today.
By the way, Mark's not there right now.
Yo, Captain. That sounds like a ship's whistle.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. Listen, Brent, I got you on because we had several questions over the week. We couldn't get a hold of you. I know you're busy because rates, they're all by the way, all the disclaimers with rates, blah, 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 but we're talking rates in general. Here, and I'm asking you, is this incredible right now? I mean, are there people actually waiting? I mean, if you're at 2.5%, where the hell are they going to go? Brent.
Yeah, I don't think there is anybody waiting at this point. When you look at where rates are, look, I got into this business in 1996, and I never, ever dreamed of the fact that we would have 30-year fixed rates that began with a 2, and yet here we sit with 30-year fixed rates at 2.625% and 15-year fixed rates at 2.25%, and 10-year rates that are sub-2s.
Oh, my God. You mean you can get a 15-year note under 2.5?
You can get a 15-year note. Our 15-year rate today is 2.25%.
2.25%. And then you can get a 10-year if you want to go. So there are some people who can shorten their mortgage and virtually keep the same payment or even a little lower.
Probably a lot lower.
We're seeing it day in and day out. And you talk about how busy we've been. We have been overwhelmed with volume and people looking to take advantage of rates. So certainly, if you try and call us and don't get us, leave a message. We'll call you back. We will get to you. We're seeing unprecedented volume of people calling, taking advantage of what are the lowest rates we've ever seen.
Brent, if it still goes down, though, let's say it goes down to 1.5. Everybody's always saying this is the lowest ever. But if it does go down, do you guys still have the guarantee? You'll not charge them the refi?
Yep, we will still honor that guarantee as well. We have a lot of clients right now taking advantage of exactly that with what we've seen rates do. So our interest rate guarantee applies.
So listen, Brent, you used to say, Tom, for some reason, there's still 40% of the market that's sitting on its hands. I'm asking you now, who should right now consider refinancing? Give me the candidates.
Pull out your mortgage statement. If it's got a number that starts with a 3 or higher on your interest rate, it is worth your phone call to talk to us because you likely are going to save a significant amount of money. Now, if you're also going to be in your home long term, call us. Let's look at that shorter-term mortgage. The smartest thing you can do is pay your house off more quickly with these low rates and save yourself well over 6 figures in payments and interest.
Brent, I know that there are a lot of people cashing in on equity, and whether we like it or not, I know damn well there are some that are cashing in that equity and taking cash out. Now, if they take cash out, is it still lower or does it go higher?
No, we started to see cash out rates fall back into line. We are hearing some rumbling out of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that they may start to refinance transactions. So, we're watching that closely to see if maybe those rates drift up a little bit. But, in terms of equity, if you're looking to pull equity out of your home, it's a fantastic time to do so, whether it's for home improvements, whether it's to consolidate bills, whatever need you have for cash, now's the time to do it. We've got this perfect storm for homeowners where homes have gone up exponentially over the last 4 or 5 years. So virtually everybody's got equity. And then you've got rates at these low levels. It really is the perfect timing to tap into your equity.
Golly. So what's the best way then to get a hold of you? Seriously now, should we call or go online?
You can call us at 303-867-7000, or you can apply online at idealhomeloans.com.
Now, if we go online, there's no waiting, right? Can't we get an application online?
Yep. Yeah, you can put an application in online, and now it may take a little bit of time for someone to follow up and fill in the blanks on that application because oftentimes people aren't sure what to put where, but certainly hop online, fill out that application. We'll get to it and get back to you and get you taken care of. And the good news is it's going to save you a significant amount of money.
About how long does it take realistically, Brent, because it's so busy? Let's say I go online today and I fill out an application. Let's be realistic. What will happen? I'll hear from you in a week?
No, you'll hear from us tomorrow. You may hear from us today, but you'll likely hear from us tomorrow.
Okay, and then how long will it take? And let's just say it's not anything crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm documenting normal documentation. How long?
We're still running right about 30 to 35 days from start to finish to get your loan closed, and that's largely because a lot of these approvals that we're seeing are not requiring an appraisal. We're getting what's called an appraisal waiver or a property inspection waiver.
Oh,
so
my
people are taking
God.
advantage of rates with no appraisal.
Geez, this is crazy. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. I will take your calls right after this.
Tell your smart device to play 630.
No, not my house here. In fact, I just did my bank, my loan, my way.
Oh, okay. That one beats everything because...
I hope so, Tom. I really hope so. But I look at that's the lowest that will be is 375. The lowest. That's the lowest. So if you get a 2.5.
Wait, why is it the lowest? Does it go off the LIBOR?
It goes off LIBOR, but the basement is 375. It won't go any lower.
Yeah, but no one could have anticipated this, Dan.
Right, I know, and I asked him that, but he said that's the lowest.
Okay, but here's the deal.
I agree with you. I wish it wouldn't, but that's what he told me.
Now, do you have money on it? And money? Do you have help? Are you? I'll do my whole house. Yeah. Now, here's what I need to know. Are you? Not from you. I'm talking to Dano. Dano, do you have money against the money, so you're getting credit? The whole strength of the loan.
They're doing it for 300. I got like 283 is the loan.
No, I guess what I'm saying is, you got a loan amount, but then
you have enough in the bank so you don't have to make a payment.
Every dime. Not so you don't make a payment, but are you getting credit? QCColorado.com. That's the magic name for me when it comes to a whole house fan. QC is quiet cool. Now, they call it quiet cool because it is. It is a remote mounted fan. The fan sits up in the attic on the rafters. They put that in there within an hour. They get it done. And then they wire to a light fixture there in the attic. So there's no cutting into walls. It turns on and off with a remote control. You can set it to 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. It's such a wonderful thing because it circulates air, evens out temperatures, saves on energy. I save on air conditioning bills drastically. It pays for itself. Plus, you have cool, beautiful air, and it's called Quiet Cool. Okay? QCColorado.com, 720-398-4510. You will love the energy efficiency, how quiet it is, how cool it is, and all of the other benefits. 720-398-4510.
Very nice. Mutual Insurance Company helps you customize your
Now, what I mean is this. If your mortgage is $100 and you have $10 in the bank, you're only paying interest on $90.
Right.
Do you take advantage of that feature?
Oh yes, that's
unless you had a balance in the bank, you should never get this loan. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
And the other benefit is you can buy it down and up anytime you need it.
Right. And that's what I look at as it's
and it
line of
wasn't
credit
expensive
also.
to get.
No. Much it was cheaper than regular.
It's a good loan, man.
I was going to ask him, Tom, if I get a $300,000, my house is paid for.
Yeah.
If I take $300,000 out and invest it, even in be the banker, and I'm paying 2% and getting 5%, is there a drawback to that?
You know what? He was going to tell you the same thing as everyone. There is none. But here's the thing: it's so crazy to even think about it. People can't wrap their minds about it. Here's what somebody's going to tell you: what if something goes wrong? Then I'm thinking, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
The worst that goes wrong is I exhaust the cash out of my policy and pay off my home.
Right.
And I'm back to normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the disadvantage.
Yeah.
Here's what I can see. The origination fee and the cost in the beginning. If you don't keep it long enough to make that.
Right.
So
But
that's going to be a couple grand. Or so let's say you probably have to have it out for what, at least a year to pay for it, right?
Oh, at least.
Okay.
At least.
But the point is you're only paying 2% on your loan.
Who's paying 2%?
No, 2.5% on the loan. So you can even invest, like saying, be the bank and get 5%.
And that's guaranteed.
Right. So what's the harm?
So you're making 2.5%
for doing nothing.
And I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
This house, I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a mortgage on my other house. We don't have any mortgages. I mean,
so this money is sitting here doing nothing when you could. The only thing that your money is sitting here is that the house could go up in value, but whether you have a loan or not, it still goes up.
If anything, it saves us like sometimes people looking at us for loss.
Just remember your house can go down in value too. Look at 08, 07, 08.
Yeah,
well, yeah. Okay, but if our house went down in value, wait a minute. If it crashed, what's the harm there? You still pay it off.
Right.
You still have to become the banker money.
Well, like Mark said, they could call the loan, but they never did it privately.
No, not residential.
Not residential.
There's no Regulation Z in residential.
Okay.
That's only commercial.
As it goes down, you don't like. My house went down. My house went down by a third. And I was paying off my mortgage, and then it went back up.
Right. I know, but people in Arizona thought that, and theirs went down.
We're not talking about spending the money.
I know. I totally agree.
Yeah, but it came back.
But it's gonna. Of course. But who says it's going to come back?
But it doesn't matter because what he's saying is you just either make the payments or you or you pay it off. The only other thing is, become the banker won't go down because that's guaranteed for the life of the contract. They've never defaulted, 125 years. What else could you invest in like that solid though? Nothing. If you did day trading, you'd fucking be crazy.
You'd lose it.
I don't know if you
I had a guy, he had a $10 million
red and black in
he had a
Vegas.
$10 million trust fund. It went down to, he lost $9 million trade. He kept $1 million aside. He lost $9 million day trading.
Mark, could you imagine if you took $1 million loan from your house at 2.5%, went out to Vegas and did red or black, that's it, one time, and doubled your money, but you could just as well lose everything.
Right. That's what I say is, how do you make $1 million in the market? Start out with $2 million.
Hey, how do we know that's Mark?
Make a small fortune.
Hey, Mark,
Big fortune.
we need to have a secret number or a word so no, it's you and not your doppelganger that we're talking to.
Hold on. You know, I have to admit that whistling works. You know, I have to admit that whistling does cut right through. It really does. No, I like it. I decided I like it. T-Chance had a whistle. Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for free, not free,
it used to be free. Tune-ups and inspections, but $80 is a steal anyway. They spend an hour or so. They adjust everything, the hinge bolts, they tighten the cables, they make sure the safety adjustments are correct, and give you a condition report. And they really do a great job. You know when I did it? When I was moving into this house. And it really is telling, because if you have something wrong with the garage door, they can handle it. One Clear Choice Doors.com, and that's One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Okay, so I'm really anxious to hear about this problem. And so,
hey, do we still have Brent?
Yes, but I need, people have been waiting.
Okay.
If you can wait, or we can call him back or whatever. He wants to talk about hiring people too, so hang on a sec. Adam, what advice do you need on a judgment?
My question is, I have a revival for judgment, and it expires August 6th. It already has expired. And I was wondering what would be my course of action, my best course of action.
Okay, first and foremost, I need to ask, are you the one with the judgment going against someone else?
No, it's against me.
It's against you, and it expired when?
August 6th.
Was it a 6-year judgment?
Yes, it was.
Did they go to renew it?
That's what they're in the process of trying to do now. They filed a motion for revival.
Okay. See, Adam, really, if they got that judgment to begin with, there's nothing to do, because that was the time to do it. On revival of judgment, it's really silly. Even though they have to notify you, there's virtually nothing you can do as a defendant against a revival of judgment. Now, originally, you could have said it wasn't accurate and it wasn't this. Now, if new evidence came to light, let's just say you made the argument you were never served and you never could prove it. I guess technically, you could, if new evidence came to light, you could present it at the renewal meeting. But at the renewal meeting, here's the crazy thing. What it would do is it would end the renewal. It would not do away with the judgment. That judgment is solid right now, even if it was inaccurate. So the only thing that happens is you stop them from renewing it. What does that mean? That means they can no longer use the courts to collect. That doesn't mean they can't collect. People can still try to collect, but you'd be an idiot to give somebody money if they didn't have court power, unless you just want it.
What do you mean?
It's a moral thing. Yes, Mark. What?
I'm not understanding what you're saying. So if they don't do it on time for the revival, they can't use the courts anymore?
Right. If they expire, that judgment expires, there's no more legal enforcement of that debt because it's beyond, well, first of all, we have 6 years to collect a debt in Colorado. So within that 6 years, if you get a judgment, the judgments are either going to be 6 or 12 years? The big ones are. Anyway,
so they couldn't hit you with interrogatories,
never.
Is what you're saying?
Not after that. Not after it's done. They have forever lost their right. It's like the statute of limitations. They forever lost their rights to use the courts. But they can revive that judgment for the rest of your life, Adam. So really, there's not much to do. I mean, really, there's not. If you think you don't owe the debt and you never owe the debt, it's too late. It's way too late after 6 years of a judgment. The only thing you can do is stop the renewal. And again, stopping the renewal is moot at this point because, what the hell? You didn't pay it for 6 years anyway. And you have to have a reason to stop it. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
Season after season, while it isn't.
We talk about that.
I can call back Brent. He doesn't have to hang there.
We do that all the time. We get, judgments against people who have done bad things, and he may have been one of those guys,
right,
and he should pay the damn judgment.
Well, sure. I mean, that's the alternative, is pay your bill.
Yeah. We're always on the other side. We say, get a judgment. The guy fucked you over, and don't let him skip. Don't let him skip on it.
But say it was something like this. Say you got a car that just fell apart, and the guy,
No, I'm saying find out. If it's a legitimate judgment, he should pay it.
No. That's still a legitimate judgment.
What?
Say the guy who sold the car and misrepresented it and stuff.
Whatever. If it's a legitimate thing that the guy owes, he should pay it and not skip out. We're always arguing.
I mean, we could have asked them. Right, we could have asked them. This is what's it for?
Can you go off for a sec?
Following program will be recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
Coming up at 5 after the hour, listen for your chance to win $1,000 on KHOW Denver.
ABC News, I'm Adrienne Bankert. President Trump today announcing the United Arab Emirates and Israel are agreeing to normalize relations. That includes trade, education, tourism, and security. The deal made during a phone call between the two leaders, along with the president.
By uniting two of America's closest and most capable partners in the region, something which said could not be done, this deal is a significant step towards building a more peaceful, secure, and prosperous Middle East.
In exchange, Israel has reportedly agreed to stop plans for annexation of the disputed West Bank. The UAE becomes the first Gulf Arab state to enter into such an agreement. The coronavirus shutdown taking its toll on businesses, with another 953,000 out-of-work Americans filing for unemployment benefits last week. The first time since the outbreak that the number fell below 1 million. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden and running mate Kamala Harris holding a briefing today with health experts on the pandemic. This is ABC News. In New Zealand, after months of no COVID-19 cases, there's now a growing spike in infections.
After over 100 days of no reported locally transmitted cases, New Zealand health authorities have identified 14 new COVID-19 cases linked to one household in the nation's largest city of Auckland. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern.
Once again, we are reminded of how tricky this virus is and how easily it can spread. But we know that limiting people-to-people contact really helps stop the spread.
Those who've tested positive have been moved to a quarantine facility. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Uber and Lyft are threatening to shut down in California if they're forced to make their drivers employees. Right now, they're classified as independent contractors. A California court ordered both companies to reclassify drivers as employees. Uber's CEO says the company could suspend service until at least November. Both companies support a measure that would keep drivers as contractors. Adrian Bankert, ABC News.
Hey, you guys got nice outdoor furniture?
No.
Do you?
See, I have a touch of that, and
Let me see if he does here. I'll see.
I recognize it.
You got nice outdoor furniture?
Nice outdoor furniture.
Got a nice barbecue. Hey, that barbecue looks like a Costco one.
Why are you hell? Wait, you've never looked outside?
Well, I've seen the outside.
Beautiful deck.
Oh, no, the deck is, you don't have outdoor furniture.
Yes, I do.
Oh, do you? It's over here?
Oh my God, I got a whole, I don't care. Really, I have an entire, and then downstairs, keep a nice look.
Oh, okay, wow. I never see that.
Downstairs.
This looks like they used to sell these in Costco.
This whole thing?
But no, this looks custom. And you probably never used it. No, this is custom.
Yeah, I used it once. I didn't do much of the house itself.
You don't know your neighbors, right? Did you get the furniture?
No, I bought it.
No, I guess I didn't see it all. Here's what happened. No
problem.
Because you can't use a deck if it faces west in Dallas.
Look at the little book. But you know what? I actually prefer this to the golf course. I didn't want to.
We're back, Mark.
Man, the
Tom.
reason I asked him is, fuck the cushions break down, and
We should probably do
cushions are expensive as shit.
Right. And that's why if you get a metal stuff, then you can put cushions on there if you want it, or you can just sit on the metal.
We're still here. We
That's
should
true.
go out on the
I
deck.
mean, ours is really nice wicker.
The only thing the wicker breaks down. The only thing the metal can be hot sitting on it.
My furniture
Well,
is beautiful.
it's all synthetic wicker. It's got like a 20-year frame warranty.
Mark, my outdoor furniture is fucking beautiful.
No,
I didn't spend a lot.
What he was saying is the cushions are expensive and they break down.
Do you know where I got them? I got it at Costco.
Did you really? The cushions?
Online.
No, the furniture.
The furniture online, Costco.
Costco's good.
Hey Tom, do you know what they're asking for your next door neighbor's house?
No.
I'd be curious to find out. Give you just an idea what the comps are.
Well, I know what my appraisal was, and I know what I paid, and I don't want to get into it, but I
bet your value's gone up.
I'll tell you this, outdoor furniture costs as much as fucking indoor furniture.
It does. This is the guy that emails like once or twice a week. He hates Mark. Should I say how much?
How do you say it?
Shut the fuck up.
STFU. Okay. I'm gonna read that.
Tell them to call your congressman.
Yeah. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, that's right.
Turn that up a little, just a little.
Does it still seem weird that in 2020 there are words you can't say on the air?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It does actually. Like, except we have kids watching and all.
I know, but kids have access. There's not a kid under the age of 5 that doesn't know how to get a porn site on his, without safer net, doesn't know how to get porn on his
My kid
device.
never does that.
But he knows how to do it.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I found it.
This is a good quote. This is a good thing. I don't believe this will work either. I don't think it would work.
No.
You don't think what would work?
I'll send it to you.
No, it does work, but it doesn't work for viruses. It's not going to kill stuff in the air.
Right.
But when it passes over it, it does.
It's got to be at a certain speed, though.
Those ones that I've looked into actually work, but it's not, these lights, you can't do this and sterilize.
No, it has to be for a certain
Exactly.
amount of time.
Exactly.
It's time dependent.
Did your enclave in the office use UV?
Excuse me?
Did your enclave use UV?
No, we use steam. Superheated. You know,
I sent you 2 emails, Mark.
Oh, enclaves. I'm sorry. I meant
they use superheated steam.
It's your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword HOPE to 200-200.
Yeah, these are all UV lights. I just don't think you'd have to have a light 20 feet long.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Hi, Tom Martino here. We've had a lot of people waiting, and I didn't get to them. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I know we're jammed up. So many people want to talk. We need help, information, referrals. This show's the only show of its kind anywhere, so let's get right to it. Brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Use Tom in the promo code 30% off. Okay, Robert, you've been waiting a long time. Thank you for your patience. And Carl, I will get to you. Jessica, please wait. And then we still have, I want to talk about some opportunities that you can have for jobs, professional jobs, even some of them working remotely. So hang on there. Robert, thank you for your patience. I hope you're still on. What's going on with auto brokers?
Yeah, thank you very much for taking my call.
So what's happening?
Just, I bought a car back in April.
Okay.
A 2014 smart car. I'm a retired mechanic, or semi-retired.
What do you mean by a smart car? You mean the name smart? You mean the actual smart car?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, these
right.
from Mercedes.
Got it. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
We had owned two of them and owned one previously. We've own one now we're driving. And so got the car paid off, decided we would get me one. So I looked and looked and looked, went through Car Gurus, found this car at Car Brokers.
Yeah.
29,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So I thought, man, this fits the bill. I can get a warranty.
Yeah.
I don't have to work on it.
By the way, how much did you pay for it?
Grand total, almost 10 grand with the warranty.
Wait a minute, that's a great buy. Wait a minute, you paid less than 10 grand for a 2014 with 29. What do you guys think? That's not a great deal? No, you're right. A 14 is like 5. I don't know. Anyway, what's going on?
Well, so I paid for the warranty. Yeah. I've got all the papers in front of me and everything. Paid for the warranty. About 3 months in,
I wouldn't have done that.
The very first night they had to come out because the car overheated, but they took care of it right away. I didn't bitch about it or take it back or anything.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
Okay. So listen, the real deal here, though, is not that I know you went through a journey, I call it, of misery, but we don't have to recount it all. No, I know.
Okay, no,
and I get why you want to do it, and people do. In the interest of time, though, I want to know what we can help you with now. We can backtrack another time, but what now is the issue? What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
Up until July 28th, I had a warranty.
Gotcha.
They informed me I had to take my car in for an engine noise. They told me that the warranty covered it, everything.
What happened?
It cost me $100 deductible.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to know. So I don't hear from them. I'm not pushing them because I know it's an oddball car.
So you took it in for an engine noise. What happened?
Yeah. Okay. I check on the car, and they said, well, your car's all done. It's going to cost you $12 to get it out.
Hold on. Your phone's cutting in and out on the most important part. 12 grand?
Yeah. No, 1,200.
Oh, okay.
12.
Got it.
Which is a lot of money to me.
Yeah, but what did they do for the 1,200 is what I need to know.
Put a flywheel in.
Okay. You know what? As a flywheel and a price, that's good. But what happened to the $100 deductible?
Well, they told me that on June 14th, I called them and canceled my warranty.
Wait.
Yes.
When did you take it? Wait, hold on. Just wait. When did you take it in for an engine noise?
June 21st.
And they're saying several days before that, you called and canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, though. Wait. What do they mean you called and canceled? Is this a monthly payment you were making?
Well, I made the credit union.
No, what I mean is the warranty was monthly. It wasn't you buy it.
It was figured right into Well, the warranty is a monthly kind of deal, but it's all figured into my payment.
But they
on the car.
Okay. This is crazy.
They financed.
What's the name of the dealer?
Financed the warranty.
It's Auto Brokers.
So what do they say if you ask them though, and you say I didn't cancel it?
Right.
What do they say?
What do they say?
They called me a liar.
Oh, come on. They did
called
not.
me a liar.
Robert.
You want to bet?
Robert,
yes, they did.
Who called you the liar? Which one, the dealer or the people at the warranty place?
No, the dealer.
Who? This Auto Brokers. Where's Auto Brokers located?
39, I believe it's 3903 South Federal. It's right down from the Sheridan Police Department.
Okay.
Who was also extremely helpful to me.
All right. So right
when
now,
I went back there, I took a cop with me.
Did you pay the $1,200?
No.
Did you get your car?
No, I did. No.
Is your car still there?
Yes.
Wait a minute. You got to pay it, man, and then go after them.
Why do I have to pay it when they owe me money?
What do you mean they owe you?
My contract. They owe me. If my contract was rejected, regardless of who canceled it, according to my warranty contract, they have up to 45 days to refund my money on that contract, which at this time would be almost $1,500.
So you're claiming that the warranty contract was canceled by them?
Oh, it had to have been.
Was it never accepted to begin with? Do we know?
Well, I called the warranty company, and they told me I called June 14th. When I called the warranty company, they told me that my policy had been rejected June 5th. I should have been
dealer
notified
okey-doked him.
Hold on.
I should have been notified mail.
I want to get this straight. When did you buy the car? What date?
April 13th.
And so basically, that warranty was never accepted, right?
Exactly.
But they kept the money. But the dealer kept the money for it. You know what?
Exactly.
Well,
that's
then
what
we need to light a fire under this dealer. Who wants this one? Because I can dole it out. Do you have a big caseload right now? I know. I mean, we need to tell this dealer this is criminal. They charged him for a warranty he never actually had. So whether he canceled it or not is not the issue. The issue is they better give his money back for coverage he never got. That's the big issue.
What did they say? What did they say you lied about? You said they called you a liar.
That I did cancel it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then where's your money back?
Yeah. If you but no, Mark. They're saying he canceled it. They're saying he canceled it after several months.
They never even mentioned to me anything about refunding the money.
Robert, stop right now, okay? We're all getting a little confused. Here's the bottom line. They're saying he canceled it, and if he canceled it, there would be no refund because he canceled it after a few months. In other words, the payments he made, they're saying he had coverage, but he canceled it. And then, and now, if that's true, they're saying we don't owe you a refund because you were paying by the month and you canceled it. But what he is saying is they never accepted it to begin with at the warranty company, so he should get every monthly payment back.
They built it into the cost of the car, though. So
That's right.
Even if he did cancel it 2 months in, they would still owe him X amount of payments back because they already got paid for it.
No, that's true. That's true. But he canceled it, but he would still have to pay for the months he had it.
I agree.
If he had it, but he didn't even have it. That's the point.
My point is, though, either way they owe him money. No matter what, they owe him money.
That's true. That's true because he paid technically in a lump sum. See, this is the way it works.
That's right.
This is the way it works. The finance company doesn't send them monthly payments, Robert. The finance company, let's say the warranty for the year was $2,000, okay? They send them the full $2,000, Robert. So what Mark is saying is it doesn't matter how many payments you made. That company, if they never accepted it, owes you $2,000. If you canceled it, that's what I want to know, though. this is another lie. If you canceled it, they had already been paid in full. So where's your money? That's what Mark is saying. So even if you canceled it after several months, there's still some money left. One way or another, yeah, or all of it if it was never accepted. Okay, so Deputy Doc's got a handle on this. Let's give it to him. Robert, we're going to make some phone calls. I think that dealer, it sounds to me, this is my initial opinion, that auto brokers never told you it was rejected, and they kept the money anyway. They never paid that money to the place, and they kept it. Do you know how many times that happens, by the way? It happens a lot. It happens a lot where a dealer buys something for you, and you never get it. I can give you another example that happens. When you're moving, you know, there are moving companies that will say, okay, do you want the insurance? And they bargain on no big thing happening. They don't buy the insurance, but they keep the money. This is really dangerous. We're going to get a hold of auto brokers, and we're going to get a hold of the warranty company, and we're going to get a hold of the finance company, because I think the warranty company probably did nothing wrong. They probably never accepted it. If they can verify that for us, we're going to get some money back for you. We have more coming up.
It's Ross Kaminsky.
Just tell Robert give us info exactly.
Yeah, of course.
I got
me as usual. Just get the info.
I got his number. I talked to this guy. Let me tell you his story. This guy's story changes a little bit. I talked to him this morning.
Tell me what he said.
Oh, well, first of all, he said it was a 16.
We don't have to do ideal, bro.
Yeah, what did he say?
He said it was not.
We got Brent Iverson on. We talked to him for about 10 minutes. I'm sorry, you weren't there.
He went to the loan company. He says, there's nothing we can do. You know, it was built in there.
He's still on. So let's go to Joe Lazare.
And when he told...
okay. Yeah, I can get Joe whenever you want.
I'll get this.
All right, thanks. Okay, he's all over the place, let me tell you. Nah, this guy's kind of all over the place, but I think we try
Let's talk about criminal defense. It's something no one wants to talk about. But you know, Joe Lazara, I guess you could say, unfortunately, has gotten plenty of clients from my show. People who need a criminal defense attorney. Now, they may have referred it to a friend or loved one, or a son or a daughter, or they may have needed it themselves for a DUI or something else. Life is not always perfect, and if you are charged with a crime, the last thing you want to do is go shopping for an attorney. That's the worst time. I've done the shopping for you, and I'm serious about that. I know Joseph A. Lazara personally. And he's a good guy. He's a father. He's a husband. He's a defense attorney. He runs a great practice and will give you personalized care with flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200. He doesn't judge you. He represents you and helps you through the system. Lazara, 2 Z's and 1 R. LazaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200.
Very few things keeping from man-citing and not performing in the bedroom.
So when he went back to the warranty company and they said that, he says, well, I want my money back. He says, no, we can't refund it. You got to get it from the car dealership. He went to the car dealership. They says, no, you got to get it from the warranty company.
So wait a minute. Did he say that he canceled?
No, he didn't say that. No, he says, I've never did anything like that. It's just that 1600 was
well, that's not a different story then.
No. What I'm saying is, it was never monthly. It was $1,600 was the cost of the warranty.
It is.
Right.
No,
it wasn't
he told us that.
Okay, but he said it was
built into his monthly payment.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah, but it's a lump sum payment.
Right.
So if it was $1,600,
they got paid.
About $120 a month. Right?
No, because the warranty company never put it in effect according to him.
No, but if it was
in effect, divided up approximately.
He should get the whole $1,600 back because he was never covered.
If he was never covered, and that fucking dealer kept that $1,600.
That's why we should try to get the dealer on.
I will. I'd like to talk to him myself.
That fucking dealer is pulling a fast one.
And the other thing is, they told him for the flywheel, it was originally just going to be the $100 deductible. And then they never came and told him it was going to be $1,200. And according to them, they have to get a signature and okay to charge anything over 10%.
Right.
So he's got two issues.
And the 1,200, if they had the warranty, should have been covered. But they're saying he canceled on the 14th, which he said he never did.
They said that, and the warranty company says it was never in effect.
Right.
According to him. But again, they shouldn't have done the work without him saying, okay, do it.
Right. Well, we've had that. What happens, Tom, when that happens? Does the repair place have to eat it?
If they don't...
if they self-insured basically...
No.
If I bring my car in,
yes,
and they say it's going to be $100,
right,
and then they do stuff, and it's
$1,200.
They can only charge 10% more.
So they have to eat the other $900?
That's right.
Okay.
Technically, they do.
Right.
Or they make a deal with you. But they really, if they violate the Auto Repair Act. However, the Auto Repair Act is very specific on how you have to drop it off. I think that he would be covered under the Auto Repair Act.
The only thing, if they towed it in.
That's right.
Why?
Or if he towed it in and stuff, then they don't have to let...
You know what's weird is, here's what's weird, it's ambiguous. If you tow it in, they say they're not required to get your approval on... Wait, there was some ambiguity as to whether or not they still need an estimate, but they're not obligated to give you a written.
I think they can go up to $1,000.
If it's towed in?
If it's towed in, if I recall.
I don't, Mark, there was something weird about it. I know that, I don't know. I got to look at it. Let's get it up. I'm going to look at it.
Auto Brokers got great reviews.
It does?
Almost 5-star.
Oh, wow. Auto Brokers, good reviews.
4.5 stars.
And are they real? Have you looked at them?
I'm looking through them and stuff, and most of it's either 5-star, a couple 1-stars, but not too many 1-stars. That's why I'd like to get them on board.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. WaterPros.net for safe, clean drinking water. You don't have to buy bottled water anymore. WaterPros.net. Paul the Waterman, and he can do whole house systems too, and you can trust him. Because this is a bad industry. You can trust him. That's Paul the Waterman at waterpros.net. Okay. This thing, let me explain how it works when you build stuff into a car loan. You go to a car dealer and they say, do you want this coverage? Do you want this? And if you want the warranty coverage, it's, let's say, $1,600 for the contract, for the life of the loan, or for the year, whatever it is. They then build it into the loan. The lender pays that company in full. They don't dole it out monthly. They pay them in full. So if you buy something and build it into the loan, it's paid in full. So auto brokers probably, now I shouldn't say probably, allegedly took the money for this warranty. It wasn't approved, and they kept the money and did not notify Robert. So Robert thinks he has a warranty, but he doesn't. And therefore, they are $1,600 richer. The reason I say allegedly is because we looked online and they have some fantastic reviews. Now, that doesn't mean everything, but we can tell when reviews are faked. We can tell when they're not genuine. This seems to be like a really favored company, right, Deputy Dan? Okay, so would they do something like this? Would they? And the other question is this. Did he have a warranty or not? Robert said he did have some other work done in the past. So, Robert, actually, we can't overlook that. They did run some stuff through a warranty earlier, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
I thought you said you had some stuff done that was covered, no problem.
No, they came out the night I bought the car.
Oh,
because the car had overheated, and filled it up with coolant. And I took it back to them the next day. They tightened up a clamp or did something to it, and it was fine ever since. And I never had any more dealings with them
I
after
get it.
that.
I get it. So you never had to use the warranty, and the first time you did, you found out you weren't covered. Okay, Deputy Doc is handling this. Thank you. Now, Carl, what's going on with you, Carl? What's happening?
Hey, Tom, I leased a brand new Jetta for my son from VW Credit, paid all the lease payments, and then had the residual value and said, I'm going to go ahead and probably keep this car. Well, I ended up going to a buddy of mine who has a car lot, and, I said, we got a different car. So my buddy paid we called VW Credit.
Okay, let me get this straight. Carl, I'm confused. You said you're going to keep the car, right?
Well, I thought we would keep, in other words, I should rephrase that, not turn it into VW.
Okay.
Say, well, I was going to either hang on to this or use it as another tool to.
So you were going to pay the residual and do whatever you wanted with it.
That is correct.
Okay, what happened then?
I got to pay
what
off
happened then?
I got to pay off of $10,215 on my portal that I made my payments at. We called VW Credit, my buddy and I, the car lot gentleman, and we got the same payment. He wrote a check at the end of March, and they say I owe $1,778 more.
Who says it?
Okay.
Who says it, Carl? Who's they?
VW Credit.
Okay.
VW Credit.
Got it.
And I talked to 3 different people on Monday. I tried to call your program on Monday. I couldn't get through, but 3 different people on Monday from VW Credit, and here's the reason, and I could be wrong, and I wanted you to educate me in the audience. They said if the payment came from me, it was $10,215. Because it came from a dealer, it is fair market value, and they said that was $1,778 more than the $10,215.
Now hold on a second.
My point was, you guys got all your money.
Carl, first of all, the way leases work is the way they're written, and I don't mean to be flippant. Let me explain this. Residual value is usually a fixed amount. In fact, it's never market value, okay? So I don't know what the hell they're saying. They're saying that the dealer, that at the end of the lease, you either pay the residual value or the market value, whichever is more. They're full of crap. I've never heard of a lease in my life like that. Now, I might be wrong, but Mark, does that sound queer to you that you can buy, that they want market value at the end of a lease?
I've never seen that. I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Right here in my lease, $10,215.30 is the residual value. You can buy this at the end of the lease term for $10,000, and that's exactly what we did, and we verified it with them on a phone call.
Carl, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So now what happens? Are they refusing to give your title? Because they have. This is a trick that I use. It's not a trick. It's something I recommend everyone do, and it's the old highlight message. I say this: could you please highlight in the contract the wording that authorizes you to do this? Now, I want to see where they can find it, because, hey, if it's there, they're going to find it. If they can't, then it's going to send a clear message to them that you're not a fool. So I would start there. Could you please highlight for me you say this, hey, we all sign documents. We don't remember exactly what we signed, and I have my document here. Do me a favor. Would you highlight the wording in my contract, the one I signed, that gives you authority to do this? What do you think will happen?
Sent them a letter.
They're not going to do it.
I sent them a scathing letter yesterday and didn't use your name, but I said this is not going to go away from me. I'm going to call a national consumer.
And you can, and by the way, you can use my name. This is crazy.
Okay.
So they're actually saying you lived by every single term of the lease, and they're saying you don't get to pay residual value.
Exactly. I said, $1,770.
What's the name of the dealer? What's the name of the dealer?
It's Volkswagen Credit, and I bought the car leased it from Al Sierra Volkswagen in Colorado Springs.
Al Sierra?
Al Sierra.
Al Sierra.
One of the VW dealers.
But the deal's going to be through the lender or the leasee.
The VW Credit, he's saying. VW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So listen, I want you to send a copy of your lease to us. We'll get an attorney on it. But this is serious, Carl. I don't think they can do it. Now, if you want to have a little more impact, we can be the one who calls to say, show us, highlight for us that language before we get a lawyer involved. I mean, but I don't know how you want to step it up, Carl. It's up to you. Do you want us? I think you should do it. And you say, before I hire legal counsel needlessly, maybe you can just short circuit all this and show me, highlight for me the language. I think they're hoping you're stupid, except here's what bothers me. That if a dealer did this, I could see it. But having VW Credit do this is weird. It almost is like, why would they cheat for $1,800? It doesn't make sense to me. I want to know if anyone out listening right now, anyone has ever heard of this before. Mark, how could you even base your monthly payments? You have a residual value your monthly payments are based on, right? But then they're saying there's market value. So are they saying, no, let me get this straight then. Are they saying if you turn in the car, you're going to get more for it then? And so what are they going to do? They're saying technically your car did not depreciate as much as they had calculated. Therefore, they owe you money back if you turn the car in. I mean,
we're missing something.
We are missing something way, way big. Go ahead.
So what if you tell them to just void the check from the dealer and you send them a check for the lower amount?
It's not. He already paid the lower amount. He already paid it. They paid it off, and they want more money from him. He already paid it. And they won't take it.
I thought the dealer sent a check.
No.
Okay.
No. You don't send a check. With a residual value at the end, you buy out the car. So they bought in a lease, you either take the car back and walk away and you pay for damage, or you buy the car. They bought the car. They paid 100% of residual value. 100%. Now the dealer's saying, we want $1,800 more. More coming up.
Yeah, that was a little waste of time.
Didn't his friend write a check?
And paid it off. They paid off the car. That's exactly what we said. Now they want $1,800.
I think you guys missed something. I think you guys missed something here.
No check whatsoever.
His friend.
His friend sent the check to the fucking VW Credit.
No. He
For
said he sent it to the dealer. He said he originally said he sent it to the dealer.
It doesn't fucking matter. They got the money.
I know, but
I mean, it doesn't matter. He paid the residual value. Who the fuck cares where he did it? He paid it. They acknowledge it was paid. They're not arguing about that. They're saying he owes more. How the fuck can they say he owes more? How could they ever do that?
Because what I got from it is that the lease company said, hey, you paid the dealer for it. If you would have paid us, it would have been this. But you paid the dealer, and then now the dealer says, we want market value.
I'll tell you why. Hold on. Because the dealer's claiming, now this is, okay, I see what you're saying. The dealer's claiming they took the car back and resold it to him.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
Yes.
Hold that guy for a sec, too, and make sure Deputy Doc gets all of that. I know what's going on, and that's good you got Rod Greer. I know what's going on, thanks to Dan. They're claiming they sold the car to him.
Right. Or, like I say, they...
Except, though, that would be the dealer's... The dealer would have to get the extra money, not VW Credit.
Exactly. And I think that's who's getting it. VW Credit says...
I thought VW Credit's the one asking for the more money.
I think they said no. It's if you paid the dealer for it, and now the dealer wants market value for it. I thought that's how I read it when you first said it. Either way, it's an okie doke.
It is.
Now the dealer could claim paperwork money. Like don't they do like a $500?
D&H, yeah. But you know what? People have argued that and won. D&H, unless it's spelled out, man, those return fees are bullshit. Most people don't have the time or inclination to fight them. But unless it's in that lease stand,
if you've had a claim or dealing with a claim right now.
So really what it says, if you're going to do a lease thing, you go work directly with the lease company and leave the dealer totally out of it, right?
Yeah, well, that's true. But hold on a sec. That's true. But they are an agent of the dealer, of the leaser.
Right, but you don't remember, we had another one like on this where they
I've got
wanted,
Get Found Fast coming up, right? Okay.
they wanted paperwork money of
What's that,
500.
sir?
They wanted another one they had like this. They wanted paperwork money of $500.
I know. D&H. That's right. Handle dealer HR.
Join us in creating a world with zero hunger and zero.
What are you bitching about?
Oh, you.
Dan, you have Robert's number, or I need to get it from Dad.
Okay, you know what? We have such an incredible, vast virtual world right now where everyone is checking out your website first, let's just face it. So you need this company to make sure your website is humming along. And they can do it. Plus they can make sure you show up with search engines. Okay? And they'll do a free analysis first. That will give you a ton of information, and there's no obligation to go any further. But why don't you get in touch with them? The company is known as Get Found Fast, because that's what they do for you. And their website is simply this, getfoundfast.com.
Hi, power in numbers kind of pin, power in data kind of pin, reach new heights kind of pin, modern digital marketing kind of pin, community engagement kind of pin.
So really, if once you lease a car, you no longer should deal with the dealer. You should go directly with.
But many leases say that if you return it to a place other than the originating dealer, it's subject to dealer and handling.
Okay.
Some say to go back.
Gotcha.
I don't know what this says. I'm not familiar with VW. There's another one that says we will contact you, or you contact so many days prior, like GM. You contact them, and then they actually send someone out to pick up the car.
Really?
They send a person out to pick up. Well, not every.
If you don't buy it. If you don't buy it.
With Subaru, it was so easy. They said go to any Chase bank with the lease payment.
You mean the residual?
With the residual check.
So you bought yours?
Yeah.
At the end.
But he went to the bank. He didn't go to the dealer.
I'm saying that's it. I called the dealer. Bill said you got to go through the.
So that's
But they were the lessor, though.
Yeah, and they said go to any Chase bank. I picked the bank.
Chase was the lessor.
It was done in 2 seconds. It was.
See, dealing with the lessor is the safe thing to do, and he dealt with the dealer.
Right.
But most people don't know where to go.
Exactly.
I mean, where do you go for VW?
Right.
I mean, is there a place called VW?
Frankfurt. You go to Frankfurt. You hop
That's
on
not
the
a. Is there a place that's not a dealer called VW leasing? I guess there could be.
I think the dealer okey doked them.
Do you think the dealer? I'd be anxious to know what happened.
I know, because he said that. He said that they said if you would have went to us, but being you went to the dealer, they wanted market value. The dealer wanted market value. That's what he said at the beginning of his call.
What are you talking about, Dano?
That
stupid lease thing.
The lease company said if you would have went to us, that would have been the residual, but you went to the dealer and the dealer wanted market value.
But they don't get to do that, though, unless they counted it as a return and resale.
Right.
That's what I think they did, Mark.
Just got to look at the paperwork.
That's Life BAC is an online doctor-supervised prescription program with medication that.
I tell you, looking at these leases, boy, oh boy, they can do an okey doke pretty quickly through there.
I'll tell you, the one that really pointed it out was at Luna. People don't read fucking agreements.
Yeah, but that was, he even knew.
Mark loves that Luna contract.
Yeah,
he
but
loves it.
The guy even knew it was a stupid. I says, why would you sign this? He says, they seem like a nice people and everything. Yeah, I knew it was stupid in there and stuff.
No, I don't think he ever fucking read it, Dan.
Well, he told me he did.
Well, I think he lied to you. And if he did read it and sign it, then he deserves everything he got.
Well, he said they were so nice and everything.
We need to follow state and local guidelines. Wash our hands frequently.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
That was the best contract ever. That one with the house one time, I don't know if you were around, but he sent us it. It was crazy, man. It literally said, hey, it might look like a house, feel like a house, painted like a house.
I'm Tom Martino,
like
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Okay, now, I'm going to talk to our car expert at JFR Cars. He's a car dealer in a minute here, okay? But I think I know what happened. I think, thanks to Deputy Dan. I mean, I think Dan heard something that might make a difference. We'll see. Carl, when you took how did you know where to take your car at the end of the lease to buy it?
I did not take it to VW.
At the end of your lease,
the lease was up,
when your lease was up, you wanted to buy the car. How did you know where to go?
I should have went to a VW dealer.
I'm not saying what you should have done. I'm asking you a question. Where did you go?
I went to a car dealer in Colorado Springs that was not a VW dealer.
Did you? Oh, wait. You randomly picked a dealer.
I went to a friend of mine who has a car lot, and I decided, you know what, I think I'll go ahead and trade this car in or take it. And he goes, well, I'll write a check for it. That's the
Hold
rub.
on a second.
Said,
Hold on. I'm
me.
confused. I'm confused. You were at the end of the lease, and you had a residual value of $10,000. Let's just forget the $200 right now. You had a residual value of $10,000. Right. You're at the end of the lease. Okay. You thought to yourself, I'm going to trade this car in instead of turning it back, right?
Right. I thought I was going to keep it, and I ended up go ahead and trading it in, essentially, yes.
I get it. So you went to this friend of yours, and you said, I want to trade this car in.
Correct.
And he said what? Write a check?
Well, no, he said, what's the payoff? So we called VW Credit.
I get it. You don't have to go through it all. I get it. I get it, man. You told us this. You got the payoff and paid it off. Okay. That's what you did. Then how much credit did he give you toward the other car?
I did not buy the other car at that time. I went back about a month later.
Okay.
So essentially he paid off my car is really what happened.
Okay, and he paid off your car, and I just need to ask, just out of curiosity, do you now owe him? So technically, if everything went well, was the agreement you were going to pay him back or what?
No, not at all.
He was just going to give you that. He did it as a gift. Oh, okay. So the agreement...
No. He put it in his inventory. No. He put it in his inventory, Tom. He bought the car.
Okay.
At what he thought was the payoff amount.
I get it. He bought the car. Did you get any credit toward another car, or no, you didn't?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you went through this just to help him out. Just because he wanted to resell this car. Because there was really no reason to do what you did. You let him pay it off and buy it, in essence.
Yes, I think that would be accurate.
Well, that's what it is. If I had a leased car and I had a residual of $10,000 and I said, hey, Mark, do you want this car? Pay it off. Mark pays it off and it's his car. I get it. Okay, now, then you get a notice from who? Who was the notice that
Volkswagen Leasing?
Volkswagen Credit is who leased it to me.
And they said you owed more money.
Correct.
And what reason did they give you? I want to analyze this. What reason did they give you?
And this is what they said yesterday. And I went all the way up to a supervisor.
Go ahead, man. I don't care about the journey. Go ahead. Yeah. What did they say?
They said in Colorado and Florida, they do not have some licensing or something to sell a car to a dealer. They have it with me. My contract was with me. Because the check came from a dealer, it reverts to market value, and that the difference was $1,700.
There we go. Okay. All right, hold on. So here's what they're saying. Okay, here is exactly what they're saying. See, what you had told me was different, and I don't care about that. It was a mistake. Okay. So here's what it was, and now I want Rod to listen to this. We were told, Rod, that he basically bought his car out at the end of a lease and was told that when you buy your car out at the end of a lease, you have to pay not the residual value, but fair market value, and that's BS. I have never heard of a lease ever that requires fair market value at the end of a lease, ever, okay? If you buy it out. It's a residual price so they can calculate payments. There's no way to calculate a payment if it's a moving target. Because what if you had over-mileaged it or under-mileaged it? The market value would change, and therefore your payment would change. They couldn't do it. So bottom line is this for everyone listening. If you lease a car, there's a residual value. That residual value will not change except for damages or stuff like that. Okay? The residual value, they may make you pay penalties, but the residual value is the residual value. Now let's find out what happened to Carl. Carl made a bonehead mistake. He did not pay off the car. He was acting as VW's agent and sold the car to the dealer. And that dealer underpaid for the car because under those terms, if a dealer wants to buy that car from VW, they have to pay fair market value. He basically cost himself $1,800 for no reason at all. Now, I'll get Rod's answer and everyone else right after this.
Rod can have the answer, but I know exactly what happened.
I agree. That's what happened. That's not his story, though. He said he paid it off.
He didn't pay it off.
I know it.
He sold it to the dealer.
Right. He sold it to the dealer.
Cleared out of the way. Still doesn't
He fucked himself good.
Yes, he did.
Off highway, got a structure fire at the area of 96 in the Huron. Watch out for fire.
And I will bet he didn't do it to help him out. I'll bet you that guy gave him half the money to him. The dealer says, "Hey, I'm going to make this on it. You know, I'll give you $800 if you do it."
Do you? I'll
bet.
If you let me buy it, I'll give you $800.
Exactly. Something.
Let's ask him.
I will bet that.
That's another good point.
Yeah.
Let's ask him if he made any moolah on this.
The dealer made any moolah. He did.
No.
Oh, you're right. Right.
He would have bonused him, right?
Right. He said he was just helping him out.
Right.
What do you think, Mark? Think he was helping him out?
I bet whatever small car dealer he was dealing with had no fucking clue.
Okay. Simply Floors Inc., Simply Savings, Simply Better Installation, Simply Better Customer Service, Simply Better Arrangements all the way around because Buddy and Karen Mitchell own Simply Floors Inc., and they said this: we're going to have very low overhead, a small showroom southwest corner of 52nd Ward, and then what we're going to do is we're going to invite people to make appointments, and then we're going to go to their home, and we're going to give them all the discounts we get, and basically we'll make some money, but we'll provide better savings, 20, 30, 40% off all major floor coverings. Make your own appointment. Simply Floors Inc. That's INC. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
You know,
Yes, sir.
That was gonna get whoever it is who Simply Floors Inc. up on line 1, but I didn't know that, and I said to Simply Floors Inc.
Yeah, but wait, she's got to wait though, bro. We got Rod and all this shit going on first. I need to get through these first. So it might be next hour. I mean, it might be this hour, but I don't want him hanging. Thanks. Okay, good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. All right, man.
You are turning 65 or have questions about the mission for next year.
You know, it's funny. I want to hear about the journey sometimes.
I know it.
But not all the time. It depends on the fun journey. Like when there's an old lady and she's entertaining and, you know, I let them. But the journey, they want to tell you fucking
like Robert. He was doing me the journey this morning. That's why I knew and I told him, I says, get right to the fact. You know, that's when I talked to him in the morning.
Isn't it funny, though, how they feel you need to know it?
Well, I bought it on April, and I took them back on April 22nd.
You know, I took it home, and that night, my kid had an appendicitis attack.
What I don't get is why he didn't lead with, "Can you believe what happened to me?" No, seriously. I mean, why didn't he lead with, "Because I had someone else pay it off, they're telling me I got to pay
Well,
more."
he didn't know that, because he didn't really know the essence.
Yeah, I agree with that. He still doesn't know what's all going on there.
Well, they even told him in California and Colorado or Florida they can do that.
Is this on?
But you don't think the car dealership, you don't think he made any money from his friend?
I have no idea.
I say he would.
No, my point was I don't think his friend was fucking him.
Are we on? I can't hear it.
Oh. You know those posters? K&H advertised on those posters of yours.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
They were on mine?
Yeah.
I love those people. I've had so many long-term...
But it might not have been Ted, right?
No, it was. 30 years he had it.
Okay.
Henry, the other guy, Seligman, the owner, I only met him as he was turning it over to him.
Do you have those posters? Do you have any of the posters?
I don't.
You got
I wish
them?
I did.
This guy.
I have a scanned version. I think I have a PDF. I might.
Oh, you might be able to make one then.
Anyway.
This guy says, can we set a GoFundMe up to buy Tom a new mic?
Is it
No, that mic over there.
You know what? I got to tell you, man, my headset's the same as Mark's. Why I can't do two? I don't understand this. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
I want that single one back. I'm going to try something.
Okay.
I'm going to try something for the hell of it that I want to see if it works better. I might even have one set up on a separate access for guests. So this is going to, I want to see how it works.
Yeah. Mark says you can't have it back because you gave it to him. Now, if you would have took it to the dealer,
it's all company property.
If you would have took it to the dealer, then they
didn't the company buy all of these, Mark?
Yeah.
So, what do you provide?
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I was trying to be funny.
I think, I know you do. Who the fuck would buy it individually to spend money?
No, but it's just, if you would have taken it back to them.
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investments.
And very well, maybe the small car dealership didn't know what was going
Fisher
on.
Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping...
This is the best bandage I've ever had.
So how
the
is
other
your
one was
hand?
too restrictive. Oh, it's way better.
Just from that?
Yeah, just from not moving. Because I kept re-injuring it.
Right.
It actually has healed up pretty well. I almost don't want to, it's really been good. I mean, and I thought, oh shit.
So Ross actually went to the pain clinic. His hand is not getting better.
What happened to his hand?
He thinks it's, what do you call it, carpal.
That is the most painful fucking thing. It's a little bit about what I had. The pain in hands. Yeah, I know. What I meant was the pain. The hand has such nerves, it drives you fucking crazy.
And I didn't realize carpal because my sister-in-law, it's because the swelling of that.
Yeah,
and they got
there's a band of tissue around here, and and the nerves go underneath it. So if the band contracts,
a lot of people call it everything in the hand. They do.
But they actually wallow out there underneath there, right?
Yeah.
Wallow out.
Well, it's just a
farming
ligament.
thing.
There's a ligament there, and that's tight. The ligament can't last them.
Hey, if you're in financial trouble like that 90-year-old woman, they were coming after her for that. What the hell were they coming after her for? That lying thief for that walk-in tub. She should go bankrupt, as Mark recommended. Bankruptcy, by the way, is not to be shamed in these times. If you need it, you need it. You get a fresh start. Winkandwink.com. Now, I'm not saying you go out and run up debt just to go bankrupt, but there are many people facing some extraordinary challenges. And I want you to take it seriously. And don't wait to the bitter end and spend all of your money. There might be some money you can save through the bankruptcy. So, winkandwink.com. 303-410-1720. Okay, I'm going to bring up Rod Greer from JFR Cars, and I'm going to recap this very quickly. Carl leased a VW. He was going, at the end, he was deciding to keep it or to trade it, but whatever. He was at a friend of his, a dealer. The dealer said, I'll just write a check for the residual. And then you can decide, either he's going to sell it, whatever. It didn't matter. The dealer wrote the check for the residual of 10 grand. Okay? And some. Okay. Then he gets notice, Carl gets notice, weeks later, that he still owes $1,800. He says, wait a minute, I paid the residual. And they said, no, you didn't. A dealer paid the residual, and because you bypassed the return policy and you went, this dealer, technically they didn't tell him this, but this dealer, I think, technically bought it. And because he sold it, and he was on the lease as an agent of VW. He basically bypassed the dealer. He sold it. And now VW Credit's saying, hey, we want fair market value. I think they're interpreting this as a sale to a dealer and not as a lease return or a payoff of residual. Had Carl written a check for that residual, they even told him it would have been taken care of 100%. So Rod Greer is with JFR Cars. They do buying and leasing. They're a regular dealer, new and used cars. They're on my referral list. We love these guys. Hey, Rod, what's your interpretation of what happened? He paid, that dealer paid the 10 grand, and then Carl got notice there was more money due.
Yeah, hey, Tom, you did some great investigation work on that one. You figured it out. The residual belongs to him as the owner and was only honored by Volkswagen between him and Volkswagen. Whenever there's that third party comes in, he cannot sell it as a agent of Volkswagen. It had to go back to Volkswagen. And some dealers, some manufacturer insist on it and some of them don't. But Volkswagen is one of those that want that Volkswagen or want to have the first crack. Or he could have bought it himself out of pocket, pulled the money out of his pocket and bought it.
Exactly.
So that's really what happened.
So what do you do then? Now, is there any way to undo it? You can't put as they say, the genie back in the bottle. Once Volkswagen knows what happens now, it's not like this guy can rescind his check and he sends in the check. I don't know. I don't know. What would you do, Rod, if it was you personally?
You know, I would try to work with Volkswagen, but the problem is that the dealer probably has already sold the car and he's looking for the title. So there's a lot of dynamics going on. He's looking for the title, and the previous owner is stuck with the almost $2,000.
By the way, Carl,
and he got to pay that.
Carl, does this dealer still have the car, or did he sell it? Do you know?
He sold it. No, he sold it. So I sent Volkswagen a check to get the title.
You did send him a check. I think that dealer might owe you the money. I might push for that. But did the dealer already pay you? That's the secret. He may have given you this money under the table. More coming up on this and more.
The Daily Zeitgeist is a podcast.
That was compliments of you, too. I'm going to see if he did.
That's the dealers and buddies.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And what Dan suggested is that possibly that dealer said, hey, I'll give you $500.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. So it's a personal thing between the two of them.
Okay, on that other real serious one.
With the warranty?
Do you still want Carl?
Yeah, on that warranty.
Yeah.
Tom.
I'm sorry, what, bro?
Yeah,
we're finished with both of them, yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask him.
Oh, no, actually, wait. Well, if she hung up, fine. If she didn't, there was one quick question I had. She doesn't have to put the description back.
But Carl, you want to ask him if you got money under the table?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask him a question, Carl.
I'm on hold for 15 minutes.
My firm accepts righteous cases
What's that
on a
for?
percentage point basis. Collection be observed. Please don't worry. Call me.
Fuck yes, this fucking snake out there. God damn. Fucking ruining this fucking.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
This is Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW. Denver. Radio station for all shares.
You know the best thing to put on there is the Yeah. Exactly.
They're all on there. Thanks, Doc.
The plastic thing, it will hold it really.
I'm going to buy all of them again. I'll buy them new. I got to do a lot of fucking maintenance. They're all there. Okay, thanks.
The plastic holds a little rock in there and just.
Oh my. Oh, it does.
Yeah. You get a lot of it'll pick up a little rock
Hey,
and
let's
just
check
hold
these.
it.
I wonder how many to buy. These are pretty good.
Well, you need to get the flat ones and put fell on top of them.
Okay.
On top of the Teflon, you mean?
Yeah. Well, you got here. You got to get the flat one there.
Man, I got those maintenance. I ain't kidding. I never had this shit.
This is where you give your son.
I know.
Give him?
Yeah, right.
No, say give him some power tools.
Yeah. Are they all there?
Yeah, they're all there. The only thing is you can't put fell on; they won't stay.
No, you get the flat. I get it. I see what you're saying. But won't that hard plastic really hold on to stuff?
You might have to do it. What I put is Gorilla Glue on the plastic and then put the fill.
Fucking sales tax if he traded it, if he bought it out himself.
They only have weeks left before.
Oh, say that again, Mark. Who would have to buy it? The dealer?
If that guy bought it out himself, himself to Volkswagen, he would have to pay sales tax on whatever the buyout price was to the state of Colorado.
No, he paid sales tax in the beginning, I think.
No. And well, let's ask Rod. I don't.
Oh wait, no he didn't. No he didn't because it wasn't a sale.
Right. So you're right.
I know. That's a good question. That's a good question.
It isn't.
I don't know what happens.
What he was trying to do was avoid this. Now, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
The guy was squirrel. Something fucking happened.
I'll tell you this, so we got to ask Rod that. I think if your buyout's $15,000, when you pay that buyout, you pay your regular sales tax wherever you live on that car at that time.
That makes sense.
Hey, what, Mark? You don't lease anyway, right?
No, I'd never fucking.
These were in your pocket,
too many miles.
And I found it in my chair
for me.
I'll bet you that's what he was doing.
Those colors, they don't mean.
And it was like a trade-in, so he wouldn't have to pay the sales tax.
Because you know, that sales tax, depending on where you live, could be 8% or higher.
Right. So if you trade it in on a car, then you don't have to pay the sales tax.
No, that's what I'm saying. If he made a deal with this guy,
yeah.
I'll give it to you at this price, exactly what I owe. I'm not going to have to pay fucking sales tax on it.
But the dealer should have to pay sales tax.
Why else? The dealer wouldn't have to pay sales tax, no.
If he bought it from that guy.
Well, maybe he says, but we got to ask Rod. I think, the more I think about it, I think this guy and his buddy were trying to avoid something.
I think you're right. I agree with that. When you bring up the sales tax, you're absolutely right. And down there in Colorado Springs, I think that's what it is, Colorado Springs. What is the sales?
Down there, it's 8-9%, man.
Is it really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Why is that?
I have no idea why it's that high. You got, if you're in El Paso County and in Colorado Springs, it's over 8%.
8.25%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot of fucking dough on 15 grand or whatever.
Well, it's 10 grand.
Oh, my sweet daughter has started school today.
Oh, did they really? Oh, private school.
Online or in person, Tom?
In person. She is so happy.
You're right, though. Think about this. So what does that dealer do? Because technically, that is really fucked up. The state ended up getting fucked on sales tax.
Yes. Well, no, because, the dealer, this is a good question. Because the dealer wouldn't have to pay sales tax if they could turn around and sold it.
Yeah, wait. If this guy bought it out, paid sales tax, then traded it into a dealer, and the dealer sold it, they would get sales tax again. No matter what, the state missed sales tax.
I think so, you're right. So we should get his address and tell him the feds will, or the state will be after him.
Think about that. No matter what, the state missed sales tax they should have gotten.
Yeah.
Unless if he legitimately turned it back in.
Right. So $850 is really the sales tax, what it would have been on there.
If I sell you a car, you pay sales tax when you register it.
Correct.
And if you sell it the next day, guess what? It's fucking taxed again.
Right.
Whatever your reason is, remember, wearing a seatbelt.
That's what they were convinced of it. These guys had some scheme.
Mark says scheme.
Yes, can you give me just 1 second?
Let's look
There's
up.
something, I smell something afoot.
You smell Dan's foot. I'm sorry.
It is.
Nights and weekends. All his ratings online are 5 stars. Why should you use him? Well, he does pre and post agreements. He also does probate and trust administration, including litigation. Maybe some.
So the scheme.
I bet you, I'm telling you right now, Dan, that dealer probably owes that fucking sales tax.
Well, right, because he was the one that bought it from Volkswagen.
The state got fucked, man. These guys were scheming to okey doke our great state of Colorado.
Under these COVID conditions.
Under COVID conditions.
And they need the cash.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation with Michael Brown.
A Chicago Black Lives Matter youth leader defends the
I'm going to mute you. Oh, here's a question. Mark, did you know? I got a great.
Peter Show.
Seven 713-TALK, 373-255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com is the website. It's for Panacea Life Sciences in Golden. We happen to be right in their backyard, and they serve the entire country with CBD products that really work. RealCBDThatWorks.com. And by the way, if you do that, put Tom in the promo code, get 30% off. What's on your mind today? Let's help. Here's the deal. We have learned so much on this show, it's hard to sum up. So please do me a favor and tell people about the show. They can go on and listen to archives as well, and podcasts, as well as live on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, KHOW in Denver and the iHeartRadio app. And I need to ask Carl a quick question, because he taught us all a lot, and he learned a lesson, and that is if you're turning in a car, you got to turn it into Volkswagen, or the manufacturer, I should say, or the lessor, really not even the manufacturer, the lessor, whoever it is. If it's Chase Bank, if it's Volkswagen, if it's GMAC, and then pay off the residual to them. If you go to another dealer, and they write the check directly to the lessor, it could be interpreted as a resale, and they will mark up the residual. It's really weird, okay? Because that's what happened to this guy. He had a residual of 10 grand. He thought he was paying it because his friend paid it, who's a car dealer. But the lessor says, you bypassed the chain. You basically resold this car. We want fair market value. Had you purchased it, it would have been the residual. Now, here's what I want to know. Just out of curiosity, Carl, I have no idea why you did this, because you were thinking about trading it in, blah, blah, blah. But why didn't you pay it? Why didn't you pay it?
I'll tell you why.
Well, here's the deal,
I'll
Tom.
take a stab at it.
Why?
Because he would have had to pay the sales tax. Who ended up paying the sales tax on whatever the residual was?
I have no idea.
Well, Mark,
guess what? Someone should have paid that sales tax no matter what, though. The guy who bought it from you probably didn't pay it either because he resold it.
Okay, but here's the deal, Mark. I don't think Carl did it for that reason. Carl had no idea. And we'll find out.
I bet the dealer did then.
Well, what do you mean the dealer did? The dealer did what? What do you mean?
He'd be able to... I am telling you, sales tax should have been paid on whatever that payoff is.
Dealers don't pay sales tax, period. Okay?
If they buy out a lease, they would.
If a dealer buys something, it was my understanding that their sales tax is
Get Rod Greer back on. I think if they buy out a lease.
We can, Mark, but right now, seriously, you just made an issue where there was none. I was simply talking about...
I think that's why it was done this way, is why I said it.
Carl had no idea about sales tax. He was just...
Okay.
But, Carl, it does beg the question. Okay, Mark is convinced you are trying to dodge sales taxes. Who gives a damn? What I want to know is that true or not? And if not, why were you doing it? It just seems odd to me that you take it to a dealer and let them pay off the residual. Why? What was the reasoning behind it?
Okay, so this fair question. When I got the payoff, I had no idea about sales tax. So if there was sales tax on top,
I understand. We just went down that bunny trail.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down. What was the reason?
Yeah. So my son had this car, and I'm going, gosh, do I keep it? This is a nice car. It had low miles on it. You know, it was well kept, and I took it to my buddy, and I said, man, there's got to be some meat in the bone. Can you make any money on this or whatnot? He goes, yeah, I'll buy that.
And did he? Okay, now that begs the next question. Did he slip you 100 or 500 or something? Come on, Carl.
No,
Carl.
But honest, wait. We just bought. He gave me some consideration, I'm sure, because we just bought a 4Runner from him last week, and he always gives us good deals. And that was one of those. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Okay.
The lesson is I screwed up. And I wanted other people to learn from my mistake. Stupid tax, and I screwed up. Had I paid it with my check,
So Mark,
this would not be an issue,
so
and that's my fault.
So Mark brought up a point about you did it for some reason, and the sales
or
tax
the
thing.
dealer.
Yeah. Or the dealer. What do you mean the dealer? He brought it to the dealer. Carl.
The dealer should have paid sales tax on that.
Okay. And
okay.
Okay. And why we care, I don't know, but okay. So this was a big sales
because
tax.
that would have made the cost of the vehicle more. He wouldn't have made as much money on it. That's what I think this all comes down to.
You mean the dealer saw an opportunity to buy inventory cheaper
and make an extra 8 or 10%.
Okay. So I would like, just out of curiosity, since it was brought up, I would like to know about sales tax, because this is what's odd. If somebody pays off a car, a residual, how do they pay the sales tax? And I don't know. I haven't looked at a lease recently to know that. So can we get JFR back? Only if he knows the... Well, let's just get him back. He probably knows the answer. Let's bring back Rodney to ask him that question. Now, Carrie has some... has an update on a problem. Originally what happened was there were cluster boxes put in a subdivision or a community, and new ones were put in by the post office, but there were no keys distributed. It was that simple. No one had a key. And that seems pretty odd to me, that they would put a cluster box in and then tell people, oh, you may have to wait a month for keys. And I remember asking Carrie, what did they expect you to do to get mail? And Carrie, I didn't believe what you told me. You said you don't get mail for a month. Now, that just sounded too weird to me. Carrie, was that your story truly?
Yeah.
They put in the cluster, they said you're going to have to wait for keys, and simply we can't help it, and you won't get mail for a month. Is that basically?
No, I never said it was. I never said it was for a month.
Oh.
Every time I've gone to the post office, they tell me it's up to the carrier when he will assign. It's up to him to assign the keys, and they don't know when he'll do it.
Okay.
So sometimes he does it on Saturdays but we've gone through Saturdays. So now it's been over a week since I've gotten mail, and every time I go to the post office, they tell me they have no idea. It's up to the carrier to assign the keys, and that we'll have to go back to the post office to get the keys whenever he decides to assign them.
That sounds so crazy that they would have such an unorganized system or disorganized.
It does to me, too, because I would think you'd pass out the keys first, then install the mail.
Or whatever.
Or put up a sign that you need to go get your mail key. You have 5 days to get your mail key. And then we are going to install these mailboxes. And I told them that, and they said, well, we don't make policy. This is how it's done.
Yeah, that's how it's done. And really, they're in the process right now of relabeling the new boxes. Once they have them labeled, then they will be getting the keys. They should have the keys by the end of this week. And my angel at USPS is going to stay on top of it, and he'll be updating me daily.
So wait a minute. That's nice that our angel was able to clarify. But it still is a jacked up system, for God's sakes. So
it's the U.S. government. Come on.
So no, actually, they're quasi-government, right? So what we're being told is this, that when they change out mailboxes, they do it bass-ackwards. They basically first just put the boxes in, and then do the labeling, then do the key distribution. Instead of labeling them, give out the keys, and then erect it, right? Wouldn't that be logical? I can't believe this. So, Carrie, in the meantime, they really expect you to go without mail, or did they say, Carrie, you can pick up your mail?
No, they've never told me I can pick up my mail. We've all been up there. No. And I've told them, well, what about if there's medicine or I have a paycheck or something like that? And they said, well, I guess you're hoping that it'll be sooner than later. Then I guess you're hoping it'll be sooner rather than later when he gets these.
By the way, what neighborhood is this?
Fine.
Out of curiosity, what neighborhood is this, Carrie?
It's in Aurora. It's called Hutchinson Heights.
I am so befuddled. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
But Tom, we've dealt with this this is the third time where they've had to replace these clusters.
Post office.
And when they replace the clusters, it just for some reason takes them so long. But this is the third time that they followed through for us. And seriously, you should have keys by tomorrow.
Okay, well that's good. You did expedite it a bit. But here's what I want to know.
They're not. The thing is, too, they're not delivering the keys. They're telling us we need to take our mortgage, deed of trust, or your lease and your driver's license up to the post office again, stand in line and wait
It's the
to get
post
the key.
office
So once
people.
again,
Why are you guys surprised?
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I want. I want to know, basically, this whole system during this time, Daff. Why didn't they give them the option of picking up their mail? Seriously.
I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
I will, though.
No,
I will ask that so we have an answer.
Yeah, I would, because really I'd like to know if this happens in the future to someone listening to the show, can they simply go to their post office and pick up mail? I'd like to know that. And then I'd like to get JFR Cars on Rodney, because the sales tax question came up. I would like to know the procedure, because we brought it up. People are probably wondering, and they might be buying a lease car too from themselves. So let's find that out. Jim's got a comment on the lease. Go ahead, Jim. What's your comment?
First off, I want to thank you guys for letting me know that I should not trade in my lease. I didn't realize putting a third party into this changed the equation.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I was looking at doing that, so I should pay it off myself. And then actually on top of that residual, I do have to pay sales tax on top of that number they gave me. I didn't know that either.
I don't know
Yes.
that. Okay, Mark, that's fine.
How else could they do it, Tom?
Do me a favor. I'm not disagreeing. I don't know the answer is what I'm saying, Jim, because I'm not sure
I know you don't.
how they do it, and we're going to find out, okay? Some people just talk out their ass. I like to find out information first, and then we'll find out. It's possible. It is possible, and it's probably likely that we have to pay sales tax.
What other way?
I don't know, Mark.
Would there
See,
be?
I don't know. That's the thing, because here's what I'm thinking, okay? You might have to pay sales tax not on the residual, but on the market value, because a lot of times they don't go by what is purchased or bought. They go by market value. And that's the thing. This is where they could be two entirely different things. You know, a lot of times, like, people try to lie about
generally, Tom, generally the market value is going to be less. In other words, most leases aren't worth buying out. So they're going to do it to the contracted price. But let's get Rod on.
Do you think, no, that's a good topic. Do you think, and it's not car day, but it is tomorrow, do you think most leases are written so at the end you don't have an incentive to buy it?
No, I think most cars drop more than what they depreciate more than what was thought. Yes.
Well, that's odd, because you would think they would want to get more payment and would be more conservative in their estimating, is what I'm thinking. Anyway, we'll find out. More coming up.
All right, Joe Lazare, Frank Duran, 16 seconds. Which one do you want?
He can do Frank Duran. I'll do Joe.
You can. All right, Joe, in 10 seconds.
Getting 630 K-Hub from iHeartRadio.
Tell him.
Denver's talk station.
You're doing Frank, or who's doing Frank?
Joseph A. Lazara is a criminal defense attorney, and I say this enough that you should know that you need to shop for a criminal defense attorney when you do not need one. In fact, you should shop for everything when you don't need it, or at least have it in your back pocket. So take Joe Lazara's name, Joseph A. Lazara, his phone number, 303-429-6200, and his website, LazaraLegal.com. That's 2 Z's and 1 R, LazaraLegal.com. Now put them away, and you can refer anyone. Just put it in your contacts. And here's why you never know when someone will say, do you know someone who can help with a DUI or with an assault or something? That's Joseph A. Lazara, attorney at law. I'm not kidding around. You know, there are times that we never expect something to happen, and it happens. Even if you're falsely accused, you know, you still need an attorney. Even if you want to plead guilty, you need an attorney. Joseph Lazara, 303-429-6200.
Your retirement, running out of money? I agree. Hosted Your Money, Your Retirement, and running out of money is the #1 fear of retirees today, but it doesn't have to be. If you save $250 or more for your retirement,
okay.
A telephone strategy.
I do agree with Mark. I think most leases aren't worth buying out with the residual value.
Mark, yours is worth buying out, though.
To schedule your free strategy
Mark.
session with financial advisor, CPA.
Of course, he doesn't lease, so he doesn't know what the lease would be.
At yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
You know, if you go to FrankDurantHomes.com, just look at all the awards he's gotten. Remax Hall of Fame, Master Certified Negotiation Expert, Certified Distressed Property Expert, 2025 Star Realtor,
Listen to
Best
him.
Agents in
Deputy
America,
Doc.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's really bad when he's right over here.
Huh?
When he's right over here talking.
Oh my God, I know.
He has got some videos up there. They're only 1 or 2 minutes. He did it with Tom. Will you please look at all the things he does, and that's why he sells more homes in 1 month than most realtors sell in a year. Frank Durant, the real estate man, at FrankDurantHomes.com.
Hey there, Dan Chikini, on my kitchen bag. There's absolutely
Hello.
Yes.
Be your time to get started.
I can't wait to hear what Rod says. If I fucking put my foot in my mouth, I'm blaming it on Dan.
Yeah, but Mark, I don't think you put your foot in your mouth. I'm saying they might pay more sales tax.
Hold on, I gotta say bye.
And I agree with that.
The dealer had to pay the sales tax.
No. Tom is saying that it would go by market value, not just residual value.
Maybe. I don't know.
I agree with it. It would go by market value because I think that's how they do it.
That's what we do.
We don't really know. Oh, is that Nico?
Yeah, I think so.
He is so fucking big, I can't believe it. He was a cute little puppy. They're hiring a lot of them.
Have you ever wanted to refinance your mortgage, especially now with rates at or near the lowest in history, but you didn't want to start a 30-year loan again? Well, now you can. This is Ross Kaminsky from my friends at American Financing, and let me tell you, they can help. When refinancing to drop mortgage insurance, lower your rate, or consolidate debt, you don't have to restart your loan. Because American Financing has a 10-year
What's he saying?
Tim on YouTube says, "Can I pay money to have Mark wear shoes when his feet are on the desk?" Because when I go over it, a lot of times he's no shoes and sticks his feet up.
Mortgage consultants will walk you through the process, helping you find the right solution for your needs. And you may be able to postpone one or two.
Oh my God! Painting is done! Woohoo! You know you can't buy oil-based stain anymore for like barns and wood?
Why?
I don't know. The EPA, some fucking bullshit. So we were lucky we were able to get it matched up and stuff because now everything's water-based. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with hardwood floors inside.
Ooh, no, because I just had my hardwood floors done with oil-based. And reason being, they got to sand them down quite a bit if you switch over to water-based.
Yeah.
Now, from the beginning, if they would have had it, I wish I would have done water-based because it's less stinky.
Big Bear.
Big Bear.
Did you hear our...
Great job. Great job. What's that?
Our connection was fucking up.
Oh, what?
It was going digital. You know how that noise...
Oh. They say the mic is still bad. That mic.
Even now.
They said in the podcast it's terrible.
Right, this mic.
No, that one. When Doc talks and you can't fit there.
See, I need to do the separate. I need to get that other one.
To find your community, to find your MBC voice.
And people are strong.
This report is sponsored by American Financing.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine parents who are working? And they can't have their... people are going to be mad.
I hate the USPS.
It's government.
It is so bad. I've never seen anything run so shitty. They lose money like crazy.
Well, the USPS. No, well,
they
just...
made the worst deal with Amazon.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't even fucking get it.
And Trump says that all the time, and nobody listens to him.
He just, I mean, it's like, it's the dumbest thing.
Yes.
It's like if I bought a widget for 10 cents.
Tom
and I
Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay. Rod Greer, JFR Cars. You know, Rod, we never thought of this before. Let's just talk about a straight lease. When you go to lease a car, what sales tax is in the transaction at the beginning?
The sales tax would be the first 3 years of that car. So your sales tax isn't based on the full amount of the car. It's basically based off of the 3 years you're using the vehicle.
Okay, that's if it's a 3-year lease. But if it's a 4-year, would it be 4 years? Okay, so however long the lease is, they take that portion of the value and you pay the sales tax.
You got it.
Now, what if, and I imagine they have a pre-designated schedule, but what if, not what if, what if, you buy it at the end and you pay that residual, will the lessor then put sales tax on top of that?
Yes. Yes, because now it's the purchase. So he pays the sales tax of the residual.
Okay. So he'll write up the contract. The lessor writes up the contract either through a dealer or directly, and they put down residual $10,000, and then the sales tax, just like that car's being delivered to him, right?
So he'll pay whatever the sales tax is in his area on the residual.
Yeah, it'll be like a sale. So they put down his address, and then, but he doesn't get temp tags and all that because,
Now, Rod, take it a step further. What happened in the case we were talking about? He gives it to a dealer. Wasn't that dealer supposed to pay sales tax at that point? Then how should have that worked?
You know, that dealer may have encouraged Carl. We're thinking maybe that dealer would have encouraged Carl, you know, hey, I'll buy it directly, but to bypass that. So if a dealer takes that car in and pays the residual, what happens to the sales tax?
Dealers, we don't pay sales tax, right?
That's what I thought.
So that doesn't apply to us.
Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. So it wouldn't matter because the end user pays the sales tax.
Right.
So, okay, but if he would have done it for his friend, let's say, so the dealer, hey, I'm a dealer, I won't have to pay the sales tax, let me send the check. Then he sends the check, but ultimately the owner would have to pay the sales tax anyway when he goes to put the plates on it, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, and that's what I thought, Mark, that because they're resellers, just like when you bought computer parts and sold computers, you didn't pay sales tax on your computer parts, right? Because you were reselling them. Isn't that right, Mark?
I'm still baffled of how this would work, but I mean, he's the expert.
But Mark, why is it different than any reseller? Why is it different than any reseller? Like Fix-It 24/7, they don't pay sales tax on when they buy a furnace from the supplier.
Because it was a lease and only partial. This is where my brain doesn't understand. Because it was a lease and it was only partially paid at the beginning, only 3 years worth of sales tax or 5 or whatever the lease is.
Right.
At some point when someone buys that, it just seems to me like the state is missing the original sales tax.
No, Mark, because the guy that buys it is going to pay sales tax. It's just not the dealer in between.
But Tom, if this guy, follow me here, if this guy bought the vehicle out for $10,000,
right,
he would pay sales tax on the residual. We all agree, right?
Yes.
Right.
Then, if he turned around and sold it 2 months later to me, and I bought it, I would pay 100% of the sales tax.
That's right.
Correct?
That's exactly right. Yes, that's right.
So I'm saying in the scenario that this happened, the state only got sales tax on half the car or whatever,
Mark,
3 years worth.
Mark, I understand. What you're saying is, okay, and what they call...
I'm shocked the state allows it to happen. That's what I'm saying.
Mark, what you're talking about is something that's called skipping title. Sometimes people buy and sell cars without recording it until the ultimate one buys it and they pay the tax, and they should have gotten the tax on 3 or 4 transactions. However, what you're missing, Mark, and this is the part I do not understand, and right before we lose our entire
I know what you're going to say because they're a dealer.
Yeah, that's the only part you're not understanding. When you were a dealer in computers, when you bought stuff, you didn't pay tax on it. Your user paid tax on it, your end user. So I think that's the part you're missing, is that a dealer bought the car, he doesn't pay tax on it, he passes the tax on, or doesn't pass it on, he waits until the end user buys it. And
I'm just shocked the state does it that way on a lease. I'm just shocked by it. That's it.
But Mark, it's not.
They want you to charge sales tax. They want you to charge sales tax at a garage sale.
Mark, God Almighty, I don't even understand what they're not skipping. Listen, if the car is worth $10,000, and let's say $10,000, $1,000 a year, and you had it for 3 years. Okay, you're going to pay sales tax on $3,000. Whoever buys it is going to pay sales tax on the 7 years left. No one is losing anything. The state is selling, just like a new car. When you buy a new car, you pay a new sales tax. When that car is resold as a used car, they pay for the used sales tax.
All right. We're boring the crap.
All right, anyway, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Jessica, what's going on with you? If you haven't shot yourself or hung yourself, I hope you're still there. What's going on?
Hi. Yes. So I bought a Jeep from a dealer. It's an 08 Jeep. And not long after I bought it, before I bought it, I took it in to have it checked out, and there was some emission issues, which I'm under the impression they are responsible for because it has to pass emissions.
Right, but Jessica, there's there's something really important to know about this emissions thing that I'll get into if it comes up. If they are responsible that it pass emissions only if you get it done in the window they provide, the 3-day window, and you have to take it in in that 3-day window. And if it doesn't pass, then they have to take it back. If you wait for any reason, they're not going to be responsible. Now, when you said you took it in to get checked out, did you take it to a totally independent dealer?
I took it to, yes, not a dealer, but a car shop.
Good. Someone you know and trust?
And they let me know what was, yes.
Okay, good. Hold on, and we'll come right back to you.
I knew there were.
You knew what issues there were. Got it. I'll come right back to you.
Finally, a smart used car buyer.
This is Denver's talk station.
You want to keep Rod on for this?
No, we don't.
The seller has the option, the dealer has the option of taking it back or fixing it.
Yeah,
but the dealer can also fix it. They have the option of fixing it or taking it back. Yeah.
But at least it's a smart used car buyer.
Right.
She had it checked out.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Hopefully she did it within the 3-day window.
I don't know if she's calling about emissions. I don't know what the fuck she's calling about.
Yeah.
That sales tax discussion is making me fucking old because it doesn't. I don't understand why you couldn't understand a dealer doesn't pay tax.
Right, because it's reseller.
No reseller does.
Right. And that's why if I bought the car, a week later you bought it from me, a week later you bought it from him.
Everyone pays.
Everyone pays.
Everyone pays.
Unless you're some type of a dealer, yeah.
And I think that's unfair.
I think it is.
Except, wait a minute, don't you get some kind of credit? Oh no, you get a credit on the ownership and the ownership tax, right?
Not the ownership.
Sales tax.
On the registration, you get a
registration. The license.
Yeah, the license.
The only credit you get if you buy another car.
Right.
They don't pay you cash out.
That's right. You can apply it to another car, right?
Right.
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. They call it retro because you're going in and insulating your home after the fact. If your home is 10, 20, 30 years old, you owe it to yourself to get a free estimate from this company. Now, I know the company through and through. They're great people. And they want to give you an estimate, and they want qualified candidates because it does incredible things. It makes your home up to 50% more energy efficient. That means your energy bills can be cut in half. It makes your home 80% more quiet. It's even an insect and rodent repellent or resistant. It also makes your home more fireproof. There's so many good things. All you have to do is call for a free estimate. But first check out the video, foamyourwalls.com. What a cool video. It'll show how this foam goes in and covers every nook and cranny. Here's the most important part. They can do it from outside the home in just a few days, so they never even have to disrupt your living space. 676-6333. Foamyourwalls.com.
Boy, I just looked something up from one of our listeners. All new houses in California have to have solar.
What?
Yep.
That is so fucking crazy.
Yeah, but when does that kick in?
2020.
That's incredible. Come on.
Yep.
I bet you could put like one tiny little panel though, right?
I bet not.
Where do you get all this wrong shit?
It's right here.
You know, California is probably the worst state you can live in as far as government.
New York.
That's what.
No. Oh. You mean? Okay, I don't actually know.
Probably
I don't actually know.
After all this COVID stuff.
Oh, I don't doubt.
Right here in the front range. So pick up the phone and call 720-459-CARE or become inspired.
Drives me insane.
Why?
Sales tax. It drives me fucking insane.
Why?
Because I don't fucking get how people just do shit. I just don't fucking understand it.
I don't know what you're...
Mark, just take out the car and make believe it's something else. Dealers never pay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll give you an example. A fucking air conditioning unit. They do pay sales tax when they buy one and sell one.
George does not pay sales tax on air
I don't think
conditioning.
so. Not if they resell.
He doesn't. I know that because we were talking to him about the app. They're sales tax exempt. They give their number and they buy it. Then when they sell it, they pay.
Just like at Costco, if you're a reseller, you don't pay sales tax on the stuff at Costco.
You know, Mark, you know that. You've been in business enough. You're fucking tires.
Did you pay sales tax on tires? Okay.
Yeah.
What's your point?
Well, I don't know why the car thing is fucking with you.
Yeah, you just lost lunch.
It's probably already affecting your relationships and work performance. You thought about quitting, but don't want to attend those
Mark, why is the car thing is the one that's fucking with you when you understand every other business not paying sales tax?
I don't understand the lease because it's only fucking, they only pay 3 months or whatever.
No. But they'd also do the residual value also.
They pay they pay for the
Or
time
market.
they're using it. The 3 years they're using it, they pay that portion.
And then again, if they bought it for the residual or market. It might be residual or
But
market.
I know what Mark's saying is about. I know what you're saying about this. Is this what you're thinking? When you buy a car, they don't give a fuck how long you're going to own it. You pay your sales tax up front.
Drink less, live better.
And in a lease,
they know how long it is.
They allow you to parse it out.
Right.
I mean, that is a little weird, but that's one of the benefits.
It does kind of make sense.
Then I made one phone call.
You're only buying because you're only buying that portion.
Right.
So
when you sign a lease, is sales tax included?
In your payments. And it might even be the upfront part. I don't know.
So if you don't buy it, they give it back to you?
If you what?
Well, let's say you just lease it and don't buy it.
No, then the next person pays sales tax on who buys it.
What if you return it?
Yeah, you don't pay anything. The next person who buys it pays sales tax.
That's 1-855-283-2836. Or go to getuhcmedicaretoday.com.
Hey, Dr. Bertrand, benefits and availability, meeting about plan.
Most things in the government make a little bit of sense. Not all things.
Most things don't make sense, in my opinion.
That does.
There are a million things I can think of that don't make sense.
In the government?
Yeah, just
like what?
Just in general. Like okay.
Graduated.
Like taxes.
Graduated income tax.
Well, not just the theory behind that, but the one where if you don't estimate right, you're penalized.
Oh, right.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. She bought an 08 Jeep and she had it checked out. Okay, what happened after that, Jessica? An 08 Jeep, as is, you had it checked out, and it was an independent mechanic, and he said there were some issues, and then what?
So I took it back to them, and this was before I purchased it, and I made the deal with them, gave them a list of things that I wanted done prior, and of course they used their own mechanic, which I found out was a pretty shady place. But anyway, so it came back. One of the things was the four-wheel drive wasn't working.
You should have never, by the way, just so you know, Jessica, and this is too late for you, but no one should ever allow the dealer to fix anything that's wrong with the car. What you do is this. If you know there are things wrong with the car, you get an estimate from a shop, and then you then tell the dealer you want this much money as a discount, because they will never, and I don't care who the dealer is, they will never fix it like you will. They won't. They won't do it. So what happened then? This list of things.
This is a shop that they work with, that they send it out to.
I know. The list of things that you wanted, you put on the contract, right?
Yeah, they fixed all those things.
But I'm asking, were those things literally listed on the contract?
No, they weren't listed on the contract. I gave it to them. They fixed it before I purchased it.
Or they said they did. Then what happened?
Yeah. So I made a deal with them on the four-wheel drive. They said it was about a $2,000 fix. And so I told them I would split that with them because they said, you know, their spiel about, oh, we're so far into this, blah, 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 blah. So I split that with them.
Was this
we took $1,000 off.
Was this before the contract or after you bought it?
This was before I bought it.
So you said to them, when I buy this, I will pay an extra $1,000 toward this.
Yes.
Okay.
They took $1,000 off of what I was paying, and I was going to put another $1,000 into getting this fixed. I wanted to take it where I wanted it to get fixed. Otherwise, they said they would send it to their guy because their guy is cheaper.
Okay, now I'm confused.
For them.
I'm just.
I did not want that.
Okay, I'm a little confused. What did you end up doing just with that one transmission thing? What did you end up doing? I heard two things. Did you end up getting it fixed yourself, or did they do it? They were going to fix it with this guy that I knew was shady, and I did not want him touching it. I'm not asking for options, yeah. Jessica. Just tell me what happened. You got it fixed?
Yeah, I told them I would get it fixed.
Okay.
I just wanted the deal done.
Okay.
I didn't want them to have it any longer.
All right. And you said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. But in concession for that, did you take a discount? Well, how did they make that right with you?
So I was going to put $2,000 down on it, and I put $1,000 down instead, and they took the other $1,000 off.
Okay, I got it. So in essence, you were made whole. What happened then?
Yes. So then I only had two-wheel drive at the time.
Right.
And I made it for the four-wheel to be fixed.
Okay.
I went on a trip, and when I got back from that trip, the check engine light comes on. I take it into my shop and have it checked so I know before I take it into them what's going on, and it's the catalytic converter, and it's about a $3,000 fix.
But Jessica, that's not their problem anyway. So you said you took it to your guy first before theirs. It wouldn't matter anyway. I mean, they're not responsible for that car. So it was as is.
So
now I'm not. By the way, I'm not happy about it. And now the catalytic converter, however, has to do with emissions. So if it did not pass emissions during that first 3 days, they would have had to undo the deal. So. Or fix it. So what happened during that first 3 days? Did you get the emissions checked?
I did not. I was heading out of town, so I did not get it done. And they knew it was an emissions problem because that was before, and they started with the smaller fixes first. But at that point, I thought I had, until I got the license to do the emissions, they never really said anything about the 3 day.
They don't
and then
say
when
it. A lot of them don't say it. In fact, they don't want you to know it. But here, I want to ask.
And I did not know that.
I'm technically, if you can prove it wasn't working at the time of sale, but I don't even know how you go about doing that. Where does it stand right now? Did they offer you anything at all? Man, this is crazy. $3,000. Oh, no. My God. Are you sure it's that much money to get fixed?
This is where it gets crazy.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, with everything that needed to be replaced, yeah. And there's even more to that, but with everything that needed to be replaced, yes.
But Jessica, hold on, because you said another loaded sentence. With everything that needs to be replaced. Now remember,
we'll get there.
All of that should have been picked up when you had it checked out, Jessica. You can't just keep adding.
Well,
you didn't buy a new Jeep. How many miles are on it?
No.
How many miles?
80,000.
Okay, so when you bought this with 80,000 miles, you had it checked out. Now you said there were a bunch of things that needed to be replaced as part of the catalytic converter. Even if you did prove it was an emissions problem, they don't have to just replace parts unless it's part of that emissions failure. And that's even if you could prove that it happened during the first 3 days or at the time of sale and not after your trip. How long was your trip? How many miles?
It was about 700 miles.
Okay, so where do we stand now? You said there was a lot more to it. What else is happening?
Well, the check engine light came on, and I called them. And I guess I was told by several people that, that a dealership should be on top of that and say, hey, bring it in.
No,
and
it's not true,
hey,
Jessica. That's why they have as is, by the way. I don't want people thinking that.
Okay.
That's why I keep interrupting, because I don't want you to just say these things and let them pass. They're not responsible for it. People, if you buy that car and you drive 6 blocks away, they are not responsible unless it doesn't pass emissions in the first 72 hours or 3 business days. Go ahead.
So in Colorado, there's no lemon law as far as selling a vehicle that is.
Nope. Not one.
And not disclosing what's wrong with it.
That's
know.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. There is not in any state. Now listen, I shouldn't say not in any state, not that I know. Here's, Jessica, what they do. They cannot lie to you. They cannot lie. Do they have to disclose? No. But if you said, is this or that? Yes, it is. Was this transmission rebuilt? Yes, it was. If you can prove lies, that's why I tell people, if it's important to you, make them put it down on the contract. This transmission has been rebuilt and is in good working order or whatever. And hold on, we'll come right back to you. Hold on, Jessica. I'm hoping to God we can help you.
Okay, do we have a minute?
Impact traffic.
I just have my commercial in a minute, and then we'll have time.
Okay.
All right.
I got info.
All right, good.
Uh-oh. Is it good info?
Was Rod wrong?
Wait till after you do your spot.
All right.
Are you teasing?
He's a tease. No, really. Seriously, Mark, if it was wrong, you know how I am about correcting stuff that went on the air. We got to do it.
Yeah.
I don't like shit like going out on the air that's not right, because people say, I heard this and you said this, and especially this girl piping out.
Here's the bottom line, and you can ask questions afterwards, but if you make your last lease payment, so payment number 36 or whatever, as soon as that last payment's done...
hold on, I didn't hear him. I got 10 seconds.
They pay sales tax.
It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event on now at your local Ford stores.
I am so happy I got to know Chase Johnson, and he has Johnson Roofing and Restoration. As a very young man, he started this company many years ago, and he said, I'm going to do everything to exceed your expectations, and he did. He started a company for Colorado, in Colorado, and listen to this. He guarantees 100% satisfaction and only collects at the end of a job. He recycles most everything he can during jobs for minimal impact on the environment. He does tile roofing and has a tile boneyard or salvage yard to match almost every tile. So you don't have to go searching around the country and spend too much money. He also does hail-proof roofing and has a written guarantee for that. He does commercial roofing of all kinds, including flat roofing and multifamily. And for your home, he can do conventional roofing. On the web, it's roofsbyjohnson.com. A dedicated local company you can depend on. Roofsbyjohnson.com. 303-719-ROOF. Okay, now I can listen, Mark. Go ahead.
Okay, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
If the last lease payment is made, your last $300 for the last month.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fuck pays it off. Sales tax is paid. If you go to do a deal with a dealer on a trade-in or a buddy or whatever, and there's one payment still left, if you are a dealer, you would not end up paying sales tax. But if all the payments were made, that last payment in the lease was made, it doesn't matter who the fuck buys it, they pay sales tax.
Oh, really? Even a dealer?
Even a dealer.
Yeah, but then they would have to write it off. They would be able to write it off.
But a dealer doesn't pay
What do you
sales
want me
tax.
to tell you? The guy that runs the biggest fucking Dodge store in the state just told me at length.
Well, are you saying that Rodney's was wrong?
I don't know how you want to look at that, because if there's one payment left still and you're negotiating with the dealer would not pay sales tax. If you sent your last payment in, then it doesn't matter someone's
That
paying
doesn't
sales
even,
tax.
that makes less sense than before.
I don't know why that makes less sense.
Well, because what does the one payment have to do?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that's been done yet. You have not fulfilled your lease contract, so therefore the sales tax is not owed. The second that last payment is made, if you decide to make that last payment and keep it, the sales tax is then done. It's then applied.
Right, for the new stuff. Okay, so what does if the, so if you the dealer takes it back and then they sell it, do they get to write off that sales tax?
I have no fucking clue. If the dealer, you mean if the dealer takes it back after the lease?
Yes.
If the dealer takes it back after the lease, that's between the leasee. I mean, I don't think the dealer would pay sales tax.
Oh, it wouldn't go to the dealer. It'd go back to the lease company if he didn't finish paying it off.
That's correct.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, Jim seemed to know exactly what the fuck he was talking about.
Yep, no, I can see.
The biggest problem people do is they don't start thinking of what they're going to do until the lease is up.
Right. What's that?
You know, Mark, I don't have a dog in this fight, so I don't give a shit either way, but I want to make sure we say it right. So I think we need to get one. We're at the end of the show, and I'd like to revisit this tomorrow, so then we...
Let's get Janicelli on. I mean, my God.
Or wait a minute, or let's get, is he the one that comes on the show all the time? Or let's get, the state revenue.
That would be the best to get.
So, hey, Daphne, do you think we can get someone from the state revenue department about sales taxes and
I think it's just like you're dealing with the leasee if you don't make that last payment, and they're going to have to deal with it. Not
they deal with it.
Yes,
That's right, because you gave the call.
No, of
Yes.
course not. We got 6 minutes left, bro.
Just put on the screen like exactly what you want to look.
All right, good. I'm going to put it right here.
Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans...
I missed the whole Jeep thing because I was talking to Janicelli, though. What happened?
...produces thrown out.
She bought a Jeep,
We can do something about
and it was a fake Jeep.
donating more food to local food banks through our partnership with Feeding America.
They said it was a Jeep, but it was a Volkswagen.
No, it was a Jeep, but it was a Jeep.
It was a Chinese Jeep. It was a Jeep.
That's right. It was a JIP. No, she got it. She took it. Didn't get the stuff done, the emission, and then took it on a trip. And now it needs a cat.
Yeah. That ain't bad. If all she needs is a cat.
$3,000.
That's pretty bad. She needs to find a different place to buy a cat.
That's true.
What kind of Jeep was it?
Okay, listen.
Oh, wait.
We got to get this. We got to do something for Jessica.
I don't know what we can do. But Jessica, you bought a Jeep as is, an 08, 80-something thousand miles. And bottom line is this, is that there were a list of things you wanted them to do before the contract. But no matter what, when you went on a trip, before getting emissions done. You went on a trip. You come back. You got a bunch of problems, basically. It'll prevent the car from getting emissions. You want to know, is there anything you can do to get them to step up, especially because you're telling me there's a lot of stuff. Now, Jessica, what's the worst? Like, you told me like this catalytic converter and everything is $3,000. What else is wrong? What else, if you added everything up, what's wrong with this Jeep?
Well, I mean, the other thing, one of the things that you mentioned was if you can prove that it was before, there was an emissions code before I got it, and that was supposed to have been fixed with all of the things that they were supposed to fix before I purchased it. Of course, they said they did whatever and they cleared the code, but then the light comes on again and it's still an emissions code. And
but it came on 700. It came on 700 miles later. We got to keep with the. See, listen. The reason I pick out all these weaknesses in your argument is to help you, believe it or not, so we don't go down bunny trails. I need to know this. What can we nail them on? Let's just bottom line it. What can we nail them on? I don't know. We need to look at this. It could be, Jessica, you just bought a used car with a bunch of problems, and you're saying, are they allowed to do that? They can't lie to you. Now, I asked this question. Mark laughs about it because everyone says yes. Did they lie or defraud? Did they cheat you? You're going to say yes, but we have to do more than say yes. You have to show, where did they lie to you or defraud you or cheat you? Do you have anything in writing, any promises made, any witnesses, anything that would be fraudulent inducement to get you to buy the car? Did they say, this is in great running order? Yeah, there's no problems. I mean, but you have to have witnesses. Were you alone?
Yeah, okay. I was alone.
What's the name of the place that sold it? What's the name of the place?
It's Advantage Auto Brokers in Greeley.
Oh, my God.
Advantage.
Guys, do you hear what they just said, Greeley? Why is it that Longmont and Greeley have the worst car dealers in the world? Why is it? Longmont and Greeley. Advantage. Okay, so what were you about to say before I asked you the name? Advantage.
Well, I mean, the only thing that they were being dishonest with me about was the light came on. I took it into them after I took it to my guy to find out what was wrong because I wanted to know if they were lying to me. And they checked the code. They did not lie to me as far as what was wrong. They also did say the catalytic converter. And then they told me that the only thing that I have is a written thing saying this is how much it will be for parts at their guy, and that it's like $200 for parts, and that that they would cover that, and I would have to cover the labor. And then he was telling me, it'll only be like an hour. Well, if it's $3,000 at one place, how can it only be?
Well, that's after the sale, Jessica. That's after the sale. That's not going to help us with this. But hold on, Daphne. Tomorrow's car day. We're going to have some of our experts in. Let's bring her up first. Jessica, let's pray we can help you. I'm serious, or we'll give it a try. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget referralist.com for help, information, referrals.
Follow. We all know she is. She's totally SOL. Totally.
Hey guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.
Oh my God, she is so SOL, Doc.
What?
You know what, though? Do you notice how they all start out and they all say the same thing? Well, they're supposed to do this, blah, blah.
Just empty. Jeep stands for just empty every pocket.
You know what? If you're a used car dealer,
see y'all.
You should have a thing that says, as is. This means the car